Once upon a time, Naya Okafor sat at a long table in a fancy restaurant. Soft music played and candles flickered. A young man in a shiny suit sat across from her. He talked non-stop about his father's factories and his own plans to travel to Dubai to buy cars. Naya smiled politely, but her mind wandered. She looked at the waiters moving between tables, carrying trays piled with food. When the waiter came to pour water for the man, his hand shook a little. The glass slipped, and a few drops splashed on the man's sleeve. The man's smile vanished. He snapped his fingers and raised his voice. "Can't you do one simple thing? Look at what you've done," he said, glaring at the waiter. "Do you know how much this jacket costs?" The waiter lowered his head. "I'm sorry, sir. I'll clean it," he said softly. "Sorry is not enough," the man hissed. "This is why you people stay poor." The entire table laughed, and the waiter shrank away. Naya felt a cold flush of anger rise inside her. She watched the young man's face twist as he scolded the waiter. She looked around the restaurant. Other customers watched with amused looks. Not a single person defended the waiter. After the dinner ended, Naya returned to her home in Lagos. The house was grand. Golden lights lined the driveway. Inside, the walls were high and shiny. She walked past the living room where her father and his friends were still chatting. She found her mother, Mama Uju, in the kitchen. Mama Uju was counting receipts from their restaurant. She looked up when Naya entered and smiled. "How was dinner, my daughter?" Mama Uju asked. "It was another parade," Naya said with a sigh. "Father's friend introduced a new businessman. He pretended to like me, but he kept talking about money. He snapped at a waiter because of a little water spill." Mama Uju shook her head. "A man's character shows when he thinks no one important is watching," she said. Naya sat down and rubbed her temples. "I'm tired of being chosen because of my father's name. I want someone who sees me, not the Okafor wealth." Mama Uju looked at her daughter with soft eyes. "There is a way to see men's true hearts," she said. "Work in my restaurant. Wear plain clothes. Serve them. Watch how they treat you when they think you're a waitress. You will see who they really are." Naya's eyes widened. "You want me to pretend to be a waitress?" she asked. "It won't be easy, Mama," Uju said. "You will hear things. People can be cruel, but behind every insult, you will learn who values people for their hearts." Naya was quiet for a long moment. She imagined men glancing past her because she was in a simple uniform. She imagined rude customers, but the thought of hearing true kindness among the noise pulled her forward. "I'll do it," Naya said finally. "I'll work in the restaurant." The next morning, Naya woke early. She took off her gold necklace and put it in a drawer. She removed her expensive earrings and left them on the dressing table. She pulled her hair into a simple bun. In place of her usual designer clothes, she put on the plain beige uniform of Uju's table, the restaurant her mother owned. The fabric felt strange on her skin. She looked at herself in the mirror and almost did not recognize the girl staring back. She walked through the back door of the restaurant, where delivery trucks unloaded. The air smelled of spices and grilled meat. Cooks were chopping vegetables. The head waitress, a middle-aged woman named Bimpi, looked up. "You must be the new girl," Bimpi said. "What's your name?" "Naya," she replied, using her real name. It felt oddly honest and secret at the same time. "All right, Naya," Bimpi said. "We are opening in 30 minutes. You'll carry plates, clean tables, and take orders. Keep your eyes open and your mouth closed. If a customer insults you, smile and move on. We don't feed anger here." Naya nodded. The lunch rush began quickly. People flowed through the doors. Office workers, drivers, students. They filled the tables and called out orders. Naya balanced plates of rice, soup, and plantain. Her hands trembled. She wasn't used to the weight. A man snapped his fingers at her. "Waitress," he barked. "Come here. Are you sleeping? We've been waiting forever." Naya bit her tongue. She walked over and listened to his order. He spoke loudly and slowly, as if she was a child. She wrote down his words and smiled. As she turned to leave, another voice rang out across the room. "Waitress, are you deaf?" a woman shouted. Naya spun around. The woman was well dressed, with a shiny handbag on the chair beside her. She tapped her fingers on the table impatiently. Naya swallowed hard. She walked over, tray in hand, and asked what the woman needed. "Some of us work with important people," the woman said, her nose wrinkled. "So bring my food before I lose my patience. And wipe this table properly. There is dust." "Yes, ma," Naya replied quietly. She wiped the table again, even though it was already clean. Her face burned, but she held her tongue. As she walked away, she could feel the woman's eyes on her. She felt small, invisible, yet she knew the truth. She was the daughter of a billionaire serving those who would never know. The day moved on like this. People came and went. Some kind, many careless. A teenage boy spilled his drink and apologized. An older man complained about the temperature of his soup. Naya wiped tables, carried plates, and nodded. Her back ached, her feet hurt. Her mind replayed the way the man from the dinner had humiliated the waiter. It helped her swallow the rude words and keep moving. At the end of the day, Naya walked into her mother's office. Mama Uju sat behind a desk with a pile of receipts. "How was your first day?" her mother asked. "It was hard," Naya admitted. "People snap their fingers. They talk as if I am not there. It hurts." Mama Uju stood up and placed her hands on Naya's shoulders. "Their words may sting," she said. "But remember, you are not doing this to be praised. You are doing this to find honesty. Look for the few who treat you well, without knowing who you are. They exist. You will see them." Naya nodded. She took a deep breath and smiled softly. "I'll come back tomorrow," she said. The next morning, Naya put on her uniform again. She tied her apron and went into the restaurant. The place was busy by lunchtime. Naya moved through the tables carrying heavy trays. She spilled a few drops of stew on the floor. Her heart jumped, but she wiped it quickly and apologized to the customer. The customer grunted but did not shout. As Naya turned around with a tray full of steaming plates, she heard a voice she hadn't heard before. It was calm and warm. "Excuse me," the voice said. "Can I get a bottle of water?" She looked over and saw a young man sitting alone. He wore a simple shirt and tie. His face looked tired but kind. He looked straight at her eyes when he spoke, not at her uniform. Naya walked over and placed the bottle in front of him. "Thank you," he said with a small smile. Naya nodded. She was about to leave when her hand shook, and she dropped a spoon. It clattered on the floor near his foot. Her heart started pounding. She waited for him to snap at her. Instead, he bent down, picked up the spoon, and held it out to her. "It's okay," he said softly. "It happens." Heat rose in her cheeks. "Thank you," she whispered. She walked back to the kitchen area, her mind replaying the small kindness. It was such a simple thing, but to her, it was huge. She wanted to see if he would return. She wondered if he was a regular. The rest of the day was busy. Naya carried plates, smiled at customers, and swallowed many rude words. When she went home that night, her feet ached, but there was a small spark of hope in her chest. Maybe, just maybe, she would find a man who would see her beyond her uniform and her father's money. Her journey had just begun. The next day brought bright sun and a heavy lunch rush at Uju's table. Naya arrived early to set up. She filled water pitchers and wiped down tables. The smell of fried plantain and pepper soup filled the air. Bimpy handed her a tray of jollof rice and chicken. "Table 4 is waiting," Bimpy said. "Hurry before they start shouting." Naya nodded and walked carefully between the tables. A group of young men in office shirts tapped their fingers impatiently. She put the plates in front of them. One of them barely looked up. "Finally," he muttered. "Do you want us to starve?" "I'm sorry," Naya said quietly. She moved to the next table and took more orders. A woman asked for extra stew without looking at Naya's face. A man complained about the size of his meat. Naya kept her smile, even when it felt painted on. As the day went on, Naya kept glancing toward the door. Part of her wondered if the kind young man from the day before would come back. Around noon, the restaurant door opened, and there he was. He walked in with a calm step, wearing another simple shirt and tie. He carried a black bag over his shoulder. He chose the same corner table and sat down. Naya, stomach fluttered. She picked up a menu and walked over. "Good afternoon," she said softly. "What would you like today?" The young man smiled up at her. "Hello," he said. "I'll have rice and beans with plantain, please, and a bottle of water." Naya wrote down his order. As she turned to leave, a loud laugh came from another table. She glanced over. It was a group of rich women taking pictures of their food. One of the women snapped her fingers at Naya as she passed. "Waitress," the woman called, "bring more pepper. This soup tastes like water." Naya went to get the pepper. When she returned, the woman barely said thank you. She pushed the forward with her fingernails as if she didn't want to touch it. Naya forced a smile and placed the pepper on the table. At the young man's table, his food was ready. Naya brought it over. As she set it down, her hand brushed against the plate, and it tilted. The spoon slid off and landed near his shoe. A tiny splash of stew hit the floor. Naya froze. "I'm so sorry," she said quickly. The young man bent down before she could. He picked up the spoon and placed it back on the plate. "Don't worry," he said. His voice was gentle. "Please, don't stress yourself." Naya's heart softened. She took a deep breath. "Thank you," she replied. She watched from a distance as he ate. He wasn't on his phone. He wasn't taking pictures. He ate quietly. When he finished, he wiped his mouth with a napkin and pulled out his wallet. He counted his money carefully and placed the exact amount plus a small tip onto the plate. Then he did something that surprised Naya. He walked outside and approached the security guard sitting by the door. The guard's shoulders slumped, and his eyes looked tired. The young man gave the guard a wrapped plate of food. "I noticed you haven't eaten," the young man said quietly. "Please, take this." The guard's eyes widened. "Ah, God bless you, sir," he said. "I can't let you watch others eat without eating yourself," the young man replied. Naya watched this small act of kindness through the window. It warmed her. She served other tables, but she kept glancing outside. The young man returned inside to pay, and left a piece of paper on the table. Naya walked over and picked up the plate. Under it was his receipt and a folded piece of paper with a phone number written on it. Her hand shook. She slipped the paper into her pocket quickly before Bimpei could see. She finished cleaning the table and carried the plate back to the kitchen. Her heart raced. Later, when there was a moment of quiet, Naya stood near the back door and pulled out the paper. The number was written in neat handwriting. Above it, a short message said, "If you ever need anything, Femi, Femi." So that was his name. She whispered it softly under her breath, feeling the letters on her tongue. Just then, the back door swung open, and Sei, the food supplier, walked in, carrying 2 big baskets of tomatoes. He wiped sweat from his forehead with his sleeve. He didn't notice the paper in Naya's hand. "Good afternoon," Sei said. "Excuse me, coming through." Naya quickly hid the paper in her apron pocket. "Afternoon," she replied. Sei placed the baskets on the floor near the storage shelf. He straightened up and stretched his back. "These tomatoes are heavy today," he said, laughing softly. "But I'm still stronger than them." Naya smiled. "Do you need help?" she offered. No, Sei said. "You're busy. It's my job. But you can open the door for me." The third basket is still outside. Naya held the door open as Sei went outside and returned with another basket. It was even heavier than the first 2. She watched as he carried it inside with one arm, careful not to bump into anything. "Thank you," Naya said when he placed it down. Sei nodded. "No problem," he said. "You look tired. Have you eaten?" Naya shook her head. "Not yet," she replied. Sei reached into his pocket and pulled out a small black nylon bag. He handed it to her. "Here," he said. "Roasted corn. A customer in front gave me 2. Take 1." Naya looked at the bag in surprise. "No, you keep it," she said. "You worked hard." "I have another one," Sei insisted. "Eat it before you faint. The restaurant won't pay you extra if you collapse." Naya laughed. "Okay," she said, taking the corn. "Thank you." She watched as Sei walked back through the door. He did not ask for anything. He did not comment on her uniform. He simply smiled and left. Naya looked at the black nylon bag in her hand, then felt the paper with Femi's number in her apron pocket. 2 different men had offered her something without knowing who she was. One offered words and a phone number. The other offered food with a joke. Her heart felt heavy and light at the same time. She slipped the corn into her bag for later. She could not eat now. She had to focus. Tables needed to be wiped. Orders needed to be taken. The kitchen staff shouted for waitresses to pick up plates. Naya moved quickly, her mind swirling with new thoughts. During her break, Naya went to the small staff room and sat down on a plastic chair. She pulled out the piece of paper again and looked at the number. Femi. Did she dare call him? Would he recognize her voice? What would she say? Hello, I'm the waitress you helped? She smiled at the thought of that awkward introduction. Maybe she would see him again. Maybe she would call him later. But she tucked the paper back into her pocket and decided to wait. She wanted to see him in the restaurant again. She wanted to see if his kindness continued when no one was watching. She finished her shift tired, but strangely hopeful. When she got home, she didn't tell her father about Femi or the roasted corn. She kept these small gifts close to her heart. She washed dishes and thought about the smile on Femi's face and the warmth of Sei's joke. Days turned into a week. Femi came to the restaurant almost every other day. He always sat in the same corner. He always spoke politely. Naya learned that he worked at a bank nearby and liked eating at Uju's table because the food reminded him of home. He told her about his younger sisters, about how his mother taught him to cook jollof rice, about how he hated seeing anyone treated badly. Naya listened, sometimes forgetting she was supposed to be working. She felt her guard slowly lowering, but not completely. People think the bank is glamorous, Femi said one afternoon as he waited for his order. But most of my day is numbers and screens. Coming here reminds me that food isn't just numbers. It's smiles and warm plates. Naya nodded. Do you always help the guard outside? She asked quietly. Femi looked surprised. He hadn't realized she had seen him. Oh, he said. It's nothing. He can't leave his post, so I bring him food sometimes. He looks after us. We should look after him. Naya looked at him carefully. Not everyone thinks like that, she said. Femi shrugged. Well, everyone should, he replied. As the week went on, Femi started to ask about her. Do you go to school? He asked one day. I hope you're not working here forever. Naya hesitated. She couldn't tell him she had a university degree from abroad. I'm helping my family, she said vaguely. I plan to go back to school. Good, Femi said. You're smart, I can see that. He paused. You remind me of my sister. She is in university. She also works part-time. She gets tired, but she still laughs. I think you need to laugh more. Naya smiled despite herself. Maybe, she said. While Femi shared stories about his family, Sei became a constant presence at the back door. He came early every morning with baskets of vegetables and cartons of soft drinks. He would greet every staff member by name. He would help carry heavy items, not because he had to, but because he didn't like to see people struggle. One morning, Naya saw Sei lift a crate of bottled drinks that a young boy could barely manage. Brother Sei, the boy said breathlessly. You're too strong, Sei laughed. Don't grow up and forget to help like me, he said, placing the crate down. Naya found herself looking forward to his morning deliveries. He always brought a smile or a joke with him. He never stayed long, but his presence felt like a breeze in the heavy kitchen air. One afternoon, as Naya was wiping a table near the back, she overheard Femi on his phone. He sat at his usual corner table with a plate of rice in front of him. He answered his phone, and his voice softened. Yes, sir, he said. I sent the report this morning. I'm at lunch now. I'll return soon. Naya watched him from the side. His eyes darted around as if he didn't want to be overheard. He lowered his head and whispered, No, sir. I'm at that restaurant near the office. Yes, the one with the cheap food. Something in his tone bothered her. He sounded embarrassed, as if he didn't want the person on the other end to know he ate at Uju's table. When he hung up, he looked up and their eyes met. He smiled, but Naya's smile was slower this time. She didn't know why, but something about his whisper made her cautious. Later, when she went to pick up plates from the kitchen, she saw Sei leaning against the wall near the back door. He had finished his delivery and was wiping sweat from his face with a cloth. You okay? He asked when he saw her face. Naya nodded. Just tired, she said. Sei looked at her, then at the plate in her hand. Eat something, he said. Don't let work eat you before you eat food. She laughed softly. You always know what to say, she replied. Sei shrugged. It's easier to talk than to carry tomatoes, he said with a grin. Naya looked down at the paper still hidden in her pocket. She thought about Femi and his soft voice on the phone. She thought about Sei and his jokes that always seemed to come at the right time. She felt pulled in two directions. One man offered gentle words and respect, but sometimes moved quietly when others were watching. The other man offered simple help and laughter without any show. That evening, Naya sat in her room at home and took the piece of paper with Femi's number out again. She traced the digits with her finger. She thought about calling him. She thought about telling him she was not just a waitress. She thought about the risk. She folded the paper carefully and put it back in her bag. She was not ready to call. Not yet. In the days that followed, the restaurant remained busy. Naya continued to carry heavy trays, wipe down tables and smile at rude customers. She watched Femi and Sei closely. She listened to their words, big and small. She noted how Femi offered help quietly when he thought no one saw. She noted how Sei smiled at everyone, even when he was carrying heavy loads. She took mental notes of who stood up for others, who ignored rude comments, and who laughed along with them. Her heart began to change. She could no longer see kindness in simple gestures without also looking for its shadow. She began to realize that kindness in private was easy. It was kindness in public that showed true strength. Another week passed. The days blended together with the same tasks: wiping tables, carrying plates, taking orders. Naya's arms grew stronger from carrying trays. Her ears tuned themselves to the kitchen bell, ringing when an order was ready. Her feet learned the paths between tables without looking down. The work was hard, but she found small moments of comfort in the rhythm. One morning, as Naya entered through the back door, she smelled fresh tomatoes. Sai had arrived early and was unloading his goods. He had a bandage on his hand, a small cut covered by tape. "Good morning," he greeted, smiling. "Good morning," Naya replied. "What happened to your hand?" "Oh, this," Sei said, holding up his bandaged hand. "A tomato fought back. It has lost the battle, but it left me a souvenir." Naya laughed. "Do you need help with these baskets?" she asked. "Only if you want to show off your muscles," Sei said with a wink. They carried baskets inside together. Sei lifted the heavy ones while Naya carried lighter crates. Every time they passed each other, he made a joke about vegetables. "Do you know why carrots don't go to parties? Because they might get picked on." Naya shook her head at his silly jokes, but they made her smile. When she brought the last crate in, Sei wiped his forehead. "Thank you," he said. "It's nice to have an extra set of hands. Even if they are small." "My hands are not that small," Naya protested, laughing. "They are strong enough to carry people's anger all day," Sei said softly. His tone was different, almost serious. "I see the way you swallow insults. It is not easy." Naya looked at him, surprised by his sudden shift. "How do you know it's not easy?" she asked. "Because I see your face when you walk back to the kitchen," Sei said. "I'm here every day at 5 in the morning. I watch people. I know when someone is carrying more than trays." He paused. "You don't have to pretend you're not hurt." Naya felt a lump in her throat. She looked away for a moment. "Thank you," she said quietly. Sei nodded. "No problem," he said. "Also here." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small sachet of groundnuts. "For later, in case you don't want roasted corn again." "You'll spoil me," Naya said, shaking her head. But she took the groundnuts anyway. As the morning rush began, Naya moved through the restaurant with a new energy. She served plates and smiled at customers. She noticed small things she had missed before. A mother cutting plantain into tiny pieces for her toddler. An elderly man sitting alone and humming softly to himself. A group of students laughing loudly over a bowl of fufu. Each scene added warmth to her busy day. Femi entered around noon as he often did. He sat in his usual corner. Naya walked over to take his order. He greeted her with his usual gentle smile. "Hello," he said. Rice and beans again, please, and water. Coming right up, Naya replied, while Femi waited for his food. A different kind of buzz filled the restaurant. A group of men in crisp suits walked in. They talked loudly and laughed together. Their watches gleamed in the light. They chose a large table near the front. Naya felt a tightness in her chest. She recognized one of them. It was Tosin, Femi's best friend, from one of the bank's functions she attended with her father years ago. He had always been loud and proud. Femi didn't notice them at first. He was focused on his phone, scrolling through messages. The bell rang and Naya brought his plate. As she placed it in front of him, she noticed his smile fade when he looked up and saw Tosin across the room. "Now oh," Tosin's voice boomed. "Femi, see as you hide here eating local food, come, join us." Femi shifted in his seat. He forced a small smile. "Hey Tosin," he said, "just grabbing lunch." Tosin looked Naya up and down. He laughed and leaned back in his chair. "Ah, so this is why you haven't been eating with us," he said loudly. "Because of this waitress? See your level." Laughter erupted from his group. Several heads turned. Naya's face went hot. Her hands gripped the tray tighter. She looked at Femi. His eyes darted between her and Tosin. "Tosin, please," Femi said, lowering his voice. "Stop. Stop what?" Tosin said, still smiling. "We are joking. Is she your cousin? Abby your house girl? Sorry, I don't know the difference." More laughter. Naya wanted to melt into the floor. She wanted to throw something at Tosin, but she knew she couldn't. She stared at Femi, waiting for him to do something. Femi looked down at his plate. He muttered, "She's just the waitress." Barely loud enough for Naya to hear. Just the waitress. The words sliced through her. Her chest tightened. She swallowed hard, forced a smile and turned away. Her hands shook. She walked back to the kitchen, set her tray down, and gripped the counter. Bimpei saw her shaking hands and came over. "What happened?" Bimp whispered. Naya took a deep breath. "Nothing," she said. "I just need a minute." Bimp nodded and patted her back gently. "Remember what I said," she whispered. "We do not feed anger here." Naya nodded. She wiped her eyes quickly before any tears could fall. She straightened her back and went back out to serve. As Naya returned to the dining area, she saw Sei standing near the entrance with another basket of vegetables. He had come back midday because some items were needed urgently. He looked around the room and immediately sensed the tension. He saw Tosin and his friends laughing. He saw Femi staring at his plate. He saw Naya's forced smile. Sei placed his basket down quietly and walked to the counter to hand over the invoice. As he turned to leave, he passed by Tosin's table. He paused when he heard Tosin joke loudly about the food being for village people. "Excuse me," Sei said politely. "Please, can you move your chair? I need to pass." Tosin looked at him and smirked. "Ah, see who is talking," he said. "The delivery boy wants to pass. Should we roll out the red carpet?" His friends laughed again. Sei looked at them calmly. "No need for a carpet," he said. "A simple shift of your chair is enough." Tosin scoffed, but he moved his chair reluctantly. Sei picked up his basket. As he walked away, he said loudly enough to be heard, "A chair that does not move for people will one day block its owner." The words hung in the air. Some people chuckled quietly. Tosin frowned. Femi looked up, surprised. Naya felt a small surge of gratitude. After Sei left, Naya continued to serve tables. She kept her face calm, but inside she burned. She replayed Femi's words over and over. "She's just the waitress." It hurt more than she expected. She knew he didn't mean it to be cruel. He had been embarrassed by his friend. Still, he had chosen to protect his pride instead of her dignity. At the end of the day, when the crowd thinned and the restaurant was quieter, Femi approached the counter where Naya was wiping down cups. He stood there awkwardly. "Hey," he said softly. Naya glanced up, not trusting her voice. "I'm sorry," Femi said. "My friend was out of line. I didn't know what to say. I shouldn't have said you're just the waitress. I panicked." Naya nodded. "It's okay," she said quickly, though it didn't feel okay. "No," Femi insisted. "It's not okay. I should have defended you." Naya looked at him. "Why didn't you?" she asked softly. Femi's eyes dropped. "I don't know," he admitted. I guess I was scared. Tosin and the others, they can be brutal. I didn't want them to turn on me. Naya felt a mixture of sympathy and disappointment. If I was your sister, she asked quietly, would you have let them talk about me like that? Femi looked at her, his mouth open, then closed. He shook his head slowly. No, he said, I wouldn't. Then why did you let them talk about me like that? She pressed. Femi sighed. I don't know, he said again. I'm sorry, I'll make it up to you. Naya nodded, not sure what to say. Part of her wanted to accept his apology. Part of her wanted to ask him to leave. It's not easy to stand up to friends, she said finally. But if you can't do it for a waitress, will you do it for your wife someday? Femi looked pained. I will try, he said. I promise. Naya smiled weakly. She appreciated his honesty, but she knew promises were easy to make and hard to keep. She turned to go back to the kitchen. As she did, Sei walked in with a small black nylon bag. You forgot your groundnuts, he said, holding up the bag. Naya blinked, then smiled. Thank you, she said, taking it. Sei looked at her and then at Femi, who stood nearby. He didn't say anything. He just nodded and walked back out. That evening, as Naya left the restaurant, she saw Femi outside. He stood near a tree waiting. He held a small wrapped gift. This is for you, he said, holding it out. Naya looked at the gift. What is it? She asked. It's just a small scarf, Femi said. I saw it and thought of you. You always look cold in the restaurant. Naya shook her head gently. Thank you, she said, but I can't accept it. Why not? Femi asked, looking hurt. Because gifts don't fix things, Naya said softly. Words fix things, actions fix things, not scarves. Femi frowned, but he nodded slowly. Okay, he said. I understand. Maybe next time I won't buy a scarf, I'll buy a blanket. He smiled weakly. Naya couldn't help but laugh a little. It was small, but it eased the tension. As Naya walked away, she felt the weight of the paper with his number pressing against her leg. She also felt the small bag of groundnuts in her hand. She thought about Sei's quiet presence and Femi's nervous apology. She knew her heart was dividing itself. One side leaned toward the man, who showed kindness but hid behind fear. The other side leaned toward the man who made her laugh and saw her pain, without needing to ask. She wasn't ready to choose. She didn't even know if she would have to, but she did know that the simple life of a waitress had taught her more about people than all the fancy dinners she had ever attended. Days turned into weeks. Naya's hands grew calloused from carrying trays. Her ears tuned to the kitchen bell's ring and the rhythm of voices calling for food. She got used to customers who waved her away and others who said thank you. She grew accustomed to swallowing replies to cruel comments. It wasn't easy, but she started to find strength in it. She learned to let rude words slide off her like water. One Thursday afternoon, the restaurant buzzed louder than usual. The heat outside pushed more people inside. The chairs scraped the floor, the air smelled of pepper and grilled fish, and the hum of chatter rose and fell. Naya wiped down a table near the front door. She saw a line of men in suits enter. Their ties were loosened, and their laughter was loud. Tosin was at the center, his watch gleaming as always. He scanned the room with a smirk. Aha! Uju's table, he announced to his group as if he owned the place. Time for village food, his friends laughed. They took a large table near the window. Naya's stomach tightened. She hoped Femi would not come with them. She hoped he would come alone. She didn't want another scene. As she walked to the kitchen, she heard Sei's voice at the back door. Hold the door, he called. 2 more crates. Naya turned and saw him struggling to balance 2 crates of soda bottles. She hurried over to help, pushing the door open wider. Careful, she said. Don't drop them. You're here to catch them if I do, Sei joked, adjusting the crates. She laughed. I'll hold the door. You don't pay me enough to catch bottles. Me? Pay you? Sei laughed as he entered. I'll pay you in jokes. Naya rolled her eyes. Your jokes don't pay my rent, she said, but she smiled. Sei placed the crates down and stretched his back. This back will break one day, he said. But not today. In the dining area, customers filled every table. Bimpy rushed around, giving orders to the stust. Naya heard the bell from the kitchen. She wiped her hands on her apron and moved to pick up plates. As she stepped into the dining area, with 2 plates balanced on her arms, the door opened again. Femi walked in. He looked tired but smiled when he saw Naya. He had decided to keep eating at Uju's table, even after the incident with Tosin. He approached his usual table, but paused when he saw Tosin and his friends occupying it. He hesitated, then chose another table nearby. He sat down quietly, avoiding eye contact with the group. Tosin spotted him and grinned. "Femi," he called across the room. "Come and join us. Are you too big for us now? Or is it the waitress you can't leave?" He laughed loudly. Femi forced a smile. "I'm fine here," he said. "Thanks." Tosin's grin widened. "Ah, see humility. Femi, the big banker, eating alone. It's because he's saving money for love." He winked at his friends. They chuckled. Naya's jaw tightened. She kept walking, placing plates on another table. She heard the laughter that followed Tosin's comment, but she kept her head down. She had learned to endure such moments. She moved to Femi's table with her notebook. "Hello," she said quietly. "Rice and beans again?" Femi looked up. His face flickered with regret. He was about to speak when Tosin spoke again. "So Femi," Tosin called loudly, "tell me, how does it feel to fall in love with a waitress? Do you pay her with tips or with flowers?" His friends roared with laughter. Several other diners turned to stare. Some whispered. Naya froze. She felt everyone's eyes on her. She felt heat rise to her face. Femi stared at the table. He didn't say anything. He didn't laugh. He just pressed his lips together and remained silent. Tosin leaned back, satisfied with his mockery. Inside Naya, something snapped. She had been insulted countless times as a waitress, but this felt different. It felt personal, because it came from Femi's friend, and because Femi did nothing. She wanted to throw the tray at Tosin's head. She wanted to scream, but she didn't. She swallowed her anger, turned away, and walked to the kitchen. As she walked past the back door, she heard a crash. She turned and saw a stack of plates she had placed earlier topple over, hitting the floor. The crash echoed, and everyone looked toward the sound. Naya's hands shook, the plates shattered, pieces of porcelain scattered. Bimp rushed over. "Are you all right?" Bimp whispered. Naya nodded, eyes wide. "I'm sorry," she said. "I lost my grip." Bimpy knelt to pick up the pieces. Sei, who had been unloading bottles nearby, rushed over too. He knelt beside them, helping to collect the shards. He looked at Naya with concern. "What happened?" he asked quietly. "Nothing," Naya whispered. She held back tears. Sei saw the redness in her eyes. He glanced at the dining area, saw Tosin laughing, and saw Femi staring at his table. Sei knew without being told. He sighed. In the kitchen, the cooks shouted for plates. "Food is getting cold," one of them yelled. Bib hurried to hand Naya replacement plates. "Take these," she whispered. Naya swallowed, wiped her eyes quickly, and took the plates. She felt like her heart was in pieces like the broken porcelain. She forced herself to walk back into the dining area to face the same group of laughing men. She placed plates down with steady hands, though her chest burned. As she passed by Tosin's table, Tosin leaned back and whispered loudly to his friend, making sure she could hear. Maybe the rich boss of this restaurant should train their staff better. Or maybe the staff should learn how to balance plates instead of chasing bankers. Naya felt anger so sharp she almost tripped. She wanted to speak, but she knew it would only fuel his mockery. She kept walking. She placed plates on Femi's table. He opened his mouth to speak, but she didn't let him. She turned away before he could say anything. At the back door, Sei was waiting. He held a clean cloth in his hand. "Here," he said, handing it to her. "For your hands." Naya took the cloth. Her hands were trembling. "Thank you," she whispered. "I'm sorry you had to hear that," Sei said quietly. "People think jokes are harmless until they hurt." Naya nodded. "He called me just a waitress," she said softly. Sei looked at her and tilted his head. "Do you believe it?" he asked. "Are you just a waitress?" "No," Naya said quietly. "Then don't carry his words," Sei said. "They're too heavy." The simplicity of his advice eased her chest a little. She smiled weakly. You're wise for someone who fights with tomatoes, she said. And groundnuts, Sei added with a grin. Don't forget the groundnuts. Naya laughed despite herself. The laugh felt strange and welcome. She wiped a tear quickly with the cloth he'd given her and went back to work. Later, as the lunch rush died down, Femi stood near the counter again. He looked nervous. He held his hands together. Naya could see he wanted to talk. She considered ignoring him. She considered walking away, but she walked over. I'm sorry, Femi said before she could speak. Again, I didn't laugh. I didn't say anything. But maybe that was the problem. I should have said something. You didn't have to Naya said quietly. Silence can hurt too. Femi looked down. You're right, he said. I should have stopped him. Why didn't you? Naya asked. Femi sighed. I've known Tosin since we were children, he said. He's always been loud. He's always teased people. Sometimes it's hard to stop him. He can make life difficult, but that doesn't excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. It won't happen again. Naya nodded. Words without actions mean nothing, she said. It's not about me being a waitress. It's about respect. If you let him disrespect me, he'll disrespect others. What if he does this to your sister or your mother? Femi's eyes widened. I would never let anyone talk like that about my mother, he said. Then don't let anyone talk like that about anyone else's mother either, Naya said. Femi nodded slowly. You're right, he said again. Thank you for saying that. I'll do better. He turned to leave, then stopped. I still care, he said softly. I hope we can talk later, when things aren't so crazy. Naya didn't reply. She watched him go. As she stood behind the counter, she noticed Sei outside, loading empty crates onto his van. The sun beat down on his back. He wiped his forehead with his bandaged hand. He looked up and caught her eye. He smiled and raised his hand in a wave. Naya waved back. That evening, when Naya went home, she didn't feel like talking to her father. She went straight to her room. She sat on the edge of her bed and thought about the day. Tosin's cruel words echoed in her head. Femi's whispered apology echoed too. Sei's gentle advice, don't carry his words, floated in between. She took out the piece of paper with Femi's number. She unfolded it and looked at the digits. She traced them slowly with her finger. She thought about calling. She thought about telling him how his silence had hurt more than Tosin's words. But then she folded the paper again and placed it back in her bag. This wasn't the right time. She needed to process her emotions. She needed to see what Femi would do next. She took out the small bag of groundnuts Sei had given her earlier. She opened it and popped a nut into her mouth. It tasted salty and crunchy. It reminded her of her grandmother, who used to roast groundnuts over a small fire when Naya was a child. The memory warmed her. She knew the next day would bring more challenges. She knew she would have to face Tosin again, perhaps, or other rude customers. But she also knew there were kind people like Femi, if he could find his voice. And see, who fought tomatoes and delivered groundnuts. She clung to that knowledge like a lifeline. The morning after Tosin's cruel laughter and Femi's hesitant apology, Naya arrived at Yuju's table before sunrise. The sky was still dark. The street outside was quiet. She pushed open the back door and breathed in the mixed smell of onions, tomatoes, and spices. The kitchen lights flickered to life. She tied her apron around her waist and prepared for the day. As she set the tables, she heard a soft knock. Sei appeared in the doorway, his bandage replaced with a fresh piece of cloth. He held a basket of red bell peppers on one shoulder. "Morning," he greeted, his smile as wide as always. "Good morning," Naya replied. "How is your hand?" "Better," Sei said, wiggling his fingers. "The tomato has apologized." Naya laughed. "That's good." Sei placed the basket down and looked at her. His eyes searched hers. "Are you okay?" he asked. Naya hesitated. "I'm trying to be," she said. "Yesterday was difficult." "I heard," Sei said, nodding. "People talk. They think no one hears, but walls have ears." "I know," Naya said softly. Femi apologized again. Sei nodded slowly. "Apologies are easy," he said. "Change is hard." Naya looked at him. "Do you think he will change?" she asked. "I don't know," Sei said. "I think he wants to, but wanting is not enough. He has to do it." Naya pressed her lips together. He said his friend can make life difficult, she said. He said he didn't want to become their target. Sei leaned against the wall. It's easier to stand behind bullies than to stand up to them, he said. But one day, you have to choose. It's better to be alone than to be surrounded by people who make you small. Naya smiled sadly. You sound like a preacher, she said. I preach to tomatoes, Sei said, grinning. They don't talk back. Naya shook her head. Thank you for yesterday, she said. Your words helped. Sei nodded. You're welcome, he said. Now, let me drop these peppers before they start complaining. As Sei disappeared into the kitchen, Naya took a deep breath. The restaurant opened and customers trickled in. The morning was calm. A mother with a young child sat near the window and fed her toddler pieces of yam. A group of office workers laughed quietly. Naya served them all with practiced ease. Late in the morning, an older woman walked into the restaurant. She wore a bright, patterned dress and had a large woven bag slung over her shoulder. She looked around as if searching for someone. Naya approached her. Good morning, Ma, Naya said. How may I help you? I'm looking for Mama Uju, the woman said. She owes me for vegetable supplies. She's in the office, Naya replied. Let me get her. As Naya turned to go, the woman grabbed her arm gently. My dear, she said, do not let these people here make you small. I used to work as a cleaner. People spit on me. But I raised 3 children. Now they work in banks and travel abroad. Never let anyone's words decide who you are. Naya's eyes widened. She hadn't expected advice from a stranger. Thank you, she whispered. I won't. The woman smiled and squeezed her arm. Good, she said, and Naya went to get Mama Uju. That afternoon, during the slow hour before the dinner rush, Femi came in alone. He approached the counter with hesitant steps. He held a small white envelope. He looked at Naya, who was cleaning glasses. Naya, he said softly. She looked up. Her face gave nothing away. Yes? I've wrote you something, Femi said, holding out the envelope. I didn't know if I could say it well. I keep messing up, so I wrote it down. Naya took the envelope. Thank you, she said quietly. I hope you read it, Femi said. It's everything I've been thinking. Naya nodded. I will, she said. Later, I'm working now. Femi nodded. Of course, he said. He lingered, wanting to say more, but then he turned and went to his usual table. Naya placed the envelope in her pocket. She didn't open it right away. She wanted to wait until she wasn't at work, until she could read without being interrupted. As the dinner rush approached, the restaurant filled. People came in groups. Some were dressed in flashy clothes. Some wore simple shirts. Naya moved among them, listening to their words and watching their actions. At one table, a middle-aged man spoke loudly about his new car. He bragged about the amount of money he spent. When the waiter brought his food, he snapped, Is this portion for a baby? Bring me more meat. At another table, a young couple whispered to each other. The man placed his hand gently on the woman's hand. Thank you for coming here, he said. I know it's not fancy, but the food is like my mum's cooking. They smiled at each other warmly. Naya took orders and delivered plates. She noticed kindness in small gestures and cruelty in careless ones. She filed each moment away in her mind like notes in a book. As she walked past the kitchen, she heard raised voices. She peeked inside. One of the kitchen assistants, a young woman named Ngozi, stood with her hands clasped. A man in a suit shouted at her. Where is my phone? He demanded. I left it on this counter. Now it's gone. Did you take it? Ngozi's eyes were wide with fear. No, sir, she said, shaking her head. I didn't see any phone. You're lying, the man shouted. I left it right here. I saw you standing nearby. Bring it now. Other staff members gathered. Bimpe whispered to Naya. Go back out. We don't need customers hearing this. Naya stepped back but lingered near the door. She didn't want to abandon Ngozi. She watched as the man continued to accuse her. Tears pooled in Ngozi's eyes. I swear I didn't take it, Ngozi said. Don't steal. Let us check her bag, the man said loudly. That's not right, Bimpe said, stepping forward. We can't accuse someone like that. Let's look around first. No, the man insisted. People like her steal, I know it. Check her bag now. or I call the police." Naya's stomach twisted. She saw fear on Ngozi's face. She wanted to intervene, but she didn't know how. Suddenly, Sei stepped into the kitchen from the back door, wiping his hands on a cloth. He looked around and quickly understood. "What's going on?" Sei asked calmly. "This girl stole my phone," the man accused, pointing at Ngozi. Sei looked at Ngozi and then at the counter. "Did anyone call your number?" he asked. "I tried, but it's off," the man said. Sei nodded. He walked to the security guard outside and spoke quietly. Then he returned. "We have CCTV cameras," he said. "Let's check them. That way we will see who took the phone. No need to accuse anyone without proof." The man hesitated. "I don't have time for cameras," he said. "I want my phone." Sei's voice remained calm. "If your phone was taken, the camera will show it. If she took it, you'll see. If she didn't, you'll know. Is that fair?" The man looked uncertain. He glanced at Bimpy, who nodded. "Yes," Bimpy said. "We'll check the cameras. Please wait." They went to the small office where the cameras were monitored. The footage showed the man placing his phone on the counter. Then, while he turned to speak to someone, the phone slipped to the floor and slid under the counter. Nobody saw it. Ngozi had been nowhere near it. The man watched, his face flushing. He looked embarrassed as he saw his phone on the ground. "Oh," he said quietly. I didn't see that." Ngozi let out a breath. Tears spilled down her cheeks. Sei picked up the phone and handed it to the man. "Here," he said. "Your phone isn't stolen. Next time, please look before you accuse." The man muttered a faint apology and walked out quickly. Bimpy put her arm around Ngozi. "It's okay," she said softly. "Don't cry." Ngozi wiped her eyes. She looked at Sei and whispered, "Thank you." Sei shrugged. "We should always check before we point fingers," he said simply. He turned to leave, but Naya caught his eye through the door. She mouthed, "Thank you." He nodded. Later that night, after the last customer left, and the chairs were stacked on the tables, Naya pulled the white envelope from her pocket. She sat on a small stool in the staff room. Her hands trembled slightly as she opened it. Inside was a handwritten letter. The handwriting was neat but shaky, as if the writer was nervous. She began to read. "Naya, I'm writing this because every time I try to say it, I don't say it right. I don't want to make excuses. I don't want to hurt you anymore. When I saw Tosin laugh at you, I froze. I should have stopped him. I should have told him to shut up. I didn't. I wish I could say it's because I didn't want to lose his friendship. But that's selfish. The truth is, I was scared. I've always let him talk because I didn't want to be his target. That doesn't make it right. I realize something. If I'm too afraid to stand up for you now, I will be too afraid to stand up for other things later. I don't want to be that person. I want to be brave. I want to be someone you can respect. I know saying sorry isn't enough. I'm writing this letter because I want to change. I want to learn to speak up. I know I don't deserve anything from you, but I hope you'll forgive me. I hope you'll see me try. Thank you for being honest with me. Thank you for not accepting excuses. I hope we can talk again. Maybe not now, maybe later. But I hope you'll read this and know I'm serious." Femi Naya read the letter twice. She held it in her hands for a long moment. The words touched her. She could feel Femi's sincerity in each line. She believed he meant what he wrote, but she also knew that wanting to change and changing were two different things. She folded the letter carefully and placed it back in the envelope. She kept it in her bag. She did not throw it away. She decided to watch him. She would look not at his words, but at his actions. As she left the restaurant, she found her mother in the office. Mama Uju sat at the desk, surrounded by papers. She looked tired. Her eyes scanned a receipt and then moved to another. "How was today?" Mama Uju asked without looking up. "It was busy," Naya said, sitting down in the chair across from her. "Someone accused Ngozi of stealing a phone. Sei helped prove she didn't." Mama Uju looked up. "Sei is a good man," she said. "His parents were farmers. He knows what it means to be accused because you are poor. He never wants anyone else to feel that." Naya nodded. "He's wise," she said. Mama Uju leaned back. "Men like him are rare," she said. "Most men are kind when they want something. Cruel when they want to impress others, and silent when they should speak. We all have to choose what kind of person we want in our lives. Naya looked at her mother. Femi apologized again, she said. He wrote me a letter. Mama Uju raised an eyebrow. A letter? She said, sounding amused. Naya nodded. He said he wants to change. And do you believe him? Mama Uju asked. I don't know, Naya said. He seems sincere. But it's hard. It's easier to write words than to live them. Mama Uju nodded. True, she said. People can write anything. In this life, watch what they do, not what they say. I've seen men give gifts with one hand and slap with the other. Be careful. Naya smiled. I will, she said. She stood up to leave, but her mother called her back. Naya, Mama Uju said. Let me ask you something. Which pain is worse? Being insulted by someone who doesn't matter, or being disappointed by someone who matters? Naya thought about Tosin's insults. They hurt, but they didn't break her. She thought about Femi's silence. That hurt deeper. Being disappointed by someone who matters, she said softly. Mama Uju nodded. Remember that, she said. Disappointment from loved ones leaves scars. Don't ignore those scars. They teach you who should stay close and who should stay far. Naya hugged her mother gently. She felt her mother's arms wrap around her, strong and warm. She felt safe in those arms, even though her heart was full of questions. As Naya walked home under the night sky, she held the envelope and the groundnut bag in her hand. She thought about Femi's letter and Sei's actions. She thought about kindness and courage. She thought about the weight of words and the silence that hurt more than insults. She knew her journey was far from over. She had 9 more chapters to live through. Each chapter would bring new challenges, new lessons, and new choices. She was determined to move forward, one plate, one smile, one decision at a time. The morning sun rose high and bright. Heat shimmered on the streets of Lagos. Inside Uju's table, the kitchen buzzed with early activity. The cooks chopped peppers and onions. Steam rose from boiling pots. Naya tied her apron tightly and prepared for another day of carrying plates and listening to voices. As she set the tables, she thought about Femi's letter in her bag. She hadn't responded. She wanted to see if he would follow his words with actions. She also thought about Sei's steady presence. Each day he showed up with deliveries, with jokes, with quiet wisdom. He didn't write letters. He let his actions speak. The morning rush began slowly. A woman ordered a kara for her children. A man in a dusty uniform asked for a bowl of iba and vegetable soup. Naya served them and smiled. The day seemed ordinary, until the smell of smoke reached her nose. It started as a faint scent, like burnt toast. Naya paused and sniffed. She looked around. The dining area seemed normal. She went to the kitchen door. Smoke curled from the corner of a stove. Someone had left a pan of oil heating too long. Flames licked the side of the pot, small but growing. "Karo," one of the cooks shouted. "The oil is on fire." Another cook grabbed a towel to remove the pan. But when he moved it, the flame jumped higher. Panic flickered in his eyes. "Fire!" he yelled. Smoke began to fill the kitchen. The cooks shouted instructions. Naya's heart pounded. She had never seen a fire this close. Her instincts screamed to run. But she remembered that there were customers seated. She remembered there were gas cylinders in the kitchen that could explode. "Don't throw water," Bimp shouted. "Use the blanket! The blanket!" She ran to grab the fire blanket from the wall. But in her rush, she slipped on spilled. She fell, and the blanket slid out of her hands. Naya looked around frantically. Her eyes landed on Femi, who had just entered the restaurant and was standing near the kitchen door. He looked terrified. He wanted to help, but he hesitated. He looked around as if waiting for someone to tell him what to do. His face paled. Without thinking, Naya lunged for the blanket. Her fingers grasped it, but the weight of the thick fabric surprised her. She stumbled. The smoke stung her eyes and made her cough. She took 2 steps toward the flaming pan, but a tall figure moved faster. C had just entered through the back door, carrying a crate of yams. The smell of smoke hit him. He dropped the crate with a thud and ran toward the kitchen. He grabbed the fire blanket from Naya's hands and in one smooth motion, threw it over the pan. The flames sputtered and died. Smoke still filled the kitchen, but the fire was out. "Open the windows," Sei shouted, his voice steady. "Turn off the gas." The cooks scrambled to obey. One opened the windows, another shut off the gas. The smoke began to clear. Sei picked up the fallen Bimpy and helped her stand. "Are you okay?" he asked. "I'm fine," Bimpy coughed. "Thank you." Naya's heart hammered. She looked at Sei, grateful and awed. He had moved with no hesitation. He had known exactly what to do. If he hadn't arrived at that moment, the flames might have spread. Her legs felt weak. Customers started to notice the smell. They stood up and looked toward the kitchen. Panic rippled through the dining area. Some people shouted. "What's going on?" a woman cried. "Is there a fire?" "It's okay," Naya shouted, trying to calm them. "It's out. Everything is okay. Please, let's move calmly outside for fresh air." Femi finally stepped forward. "Everyone, let's please go to the exit," Hik said, his voice wavering. He tried to guide people, but his words lacked the strength of conviction. People bumped into each other in their rush to leave. Naya raised her voice louder and waved them toward the door. "Please do not run," she shouted. "Walk calmly." Sei stepped into the dining area and saw the confused customers. He raised his hands. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, his voice loud and clear. "The fire is out. Please step outside for a moment so we can clear the smoke. Your food will be waiting." Something about the certainty in his voice made people listen. They followed him out. The air outside was hot but fresh compared to the smoky kitchen. Naya guided elderly customers by the arm. She held a child's hand. She saw Sei carrying an elderly cook who had inhaled some smoke. He cradled her gently, murmuring words of comfort. He carried her to a bench outside and gave her water. Femi stood near the door, eyes wide. He looked lost. Once the dining area was empty, Naya ran back inside. She grabbed wet cloths to wave at the smoke. Bimp and the cooks opened more windows. Slowly, the smoke thinned. Naya's eyes burned, but she kept wiping. When the air cleared enough, Naya went outside. Customers looked anxious. Some shook their heads and muttered about leaving. Others looked at her expectantly, waiting for instructions. Taya took a deep breath and forced a smile. "Thank you for your patience," she said loudly. "It was a small fire and it's out. We are sorry if we scared you. Please give us a few minutes to clean up, and we'll serve your food fresh. If anyone wants a refund, we understand. But if you stay, we promise a free bottle of water and extra plantain." She added a small joke at the end. A few people chuckled. The mood eased. Femi looked at Naya with admiration and guilt. He had done nothing. He had watched, frozen. He stepped forward to help move tables outside for customers to sit while the kitchen aired out. He handed out water bottles. He wanted to redeem himself. Sei, meanwhile, checked on the elderly cook. "Are you okay, Mama Grace?" "I'm fine," she said, her voice shaky. "Thank you, Sei, you're an angel." "I'm just a man with tomatoes and a bit of sense," he replied, smiling. He looked up at Naya. Their eyes met. She mouthed, "Thank you." He nodded. Later, when the smoke cleared and customers returned to their seats, Femi approached Naya. "Are you okay?" he asked. "I'm fine," Naya said, wiping sweat from her brow. "Thank you for helping outside." Femi swallowed. "I should have helped more," he said. "I froze. I'm sorry." "Sei, he just ran in and took control. I admire that." "Sei is always ready," Naya said quietly. "He doesn't wait for permission to do the right thing." Femi nodded. "I want to be like that," he said. "I don't know why I freeze sometimes. I think about what might happen and I stop. But Sei, he moves before fear catches him." Naya looked at him. "Being brave isn't about being fearless," she said. "It's about acting even when you're afraid." She surprised herself with her own words. They were words she needed to hear, too. Femi nodded again. "You and Sei are brave," he said. "I have a lot to learn." In the days after the fire, Naya noticed the way Femi changed. He started arriving earlier. He would ask if he could help with small tasks. He would bring cold bottles of water for the kitchen staff. He would stand up when rude customers spoke harshly. Once, when a man snapped at a waitress for bringing the wrong drink, Femi said firmly, There's no need to shout. She can fix it without insults, the man muttered but lowered his voice. It wasn't easy for Femi. He sometimes stumbled, he sometimes fell silent, but Naya saw him trying. She saw him push past his fear. It meant something to her. One afternoon, as Naya carried a tray of pepper soup to a table, a boy ran through the restaurant chasing a plastic ball. He tripped and fell. The soup on Naya's tray wobbled dangerously. She steadied it just in time. The boy looked up, eyes wide and watery. His mother came rushing. Sorry, she said, scolding the boy softly. It's okay, Naya said, kneeling to help the boy stand. She handed him his ball. Careful next time. Femi saw the scene from his table. After Naya delivered the soup, he said quietly, "You have so much patience." Naya smiled. "It takes practice," she said. As she turned to leave, Sei entered with a crate of fish. He placed it down and rubbed his back. "These fish are heavy," he said. "But not heavier than people." Naya laughed. "Always joking, always working," Sei corrected. "Laughing makes the load lighter." He noticed a piece of paper lying on the floor near the counter. He bent down and picked it up. It was a staff ID card. He turned it over. The front said Naya. The back had an emergency contact, Mama Uju Okafor. Sei's eyes widened a little. He looked around. He saw Naya disappearing into the kitchen. He slipped the ID card into his pocket, thinking. He didn't go to Naya right away. He wanted to be sure before he asked her about it. He finished unloading his goods and left quietly. That night, Sei sat in his small apartment. He took out the ID card and stared at the name, Naya, emergency contact, Mama Uju Okafor. He thought about how Mama Uju watched Naya with soft eyes. He thought about the way Naya knew things about the restaurant accounts. He thought about the small hints. He wondered if Naya might be more than she seemed. He decided not to say anything yet. He needed to see more. He didn't want to confront her and make her uncomfortable. If she wanted to tell him, she would. The next day, Naya's routine resumed. She served customers, listened to voices, and watched actions. Femi continued to try to be bolder. Tosin didn't come back for a while, but other rude customers took his place. Naya grew stronger in ignoring them. She heard insults and let them roll off. She heard kindness and let it warm her. One afternoon, as Naya wiped the counter, the back door opened. Sei walked in with a basket of onions. He looked more serious than usual. "Can we talk?" he asked quietly, looking at her. Naya's heart beat faster. "Of course," she said, stepping aside to a quiet corner near the storage shelf. Sei pulled the ID card from his pocket. He held it out to her. "You dropped this yesterday," he said. Naya's eyes widened. She took the card and turned it over. She had forgotten she had written her mother's full name and phone number as the emergency contact. She looked back at Sei. "I didn't want to embarrass you," Sei said, "but I saw the name on the back. Mama Uju Okafor. Is she your mother?" Naya swallowed. The moment she had feared arrived sooner than she expected. "Yes," she whispered. "She is." Sei nodded slowly. He didn't look surprised. "I thought so," he said. "I saw the way she looked at you. It wasn't an employer's look. It was a mother's look." Naya looked down. "Please don't tell anyone," she said. "I'm pretending to be a waitress, because I want to see how people treat me when they think. I'm not rich. It's complicated. I didn't want anyone to know." Sei nodded again. "I won't tell," he said. "It's none of my business to announce it. It's your story. You should tell it if you want to." He paused. "But why are you doing this? This work is hard. People are rude. You don't have to do it." Naya sighed. "I've seen men act kind when they know I'm rich and cruel when they think someone is poor," she said. "I want to find someone who is kind no matter what. I can't stand being chosen for my father's money. I want to be chosen for me." Sei looked at her. His eyes softened. "That makes sense," he said. "It's a brave thing to do," he smiled wryly. "But you're also using real people's lives as a test. Don't forget that." Naya's eyes widened. She had never thought of it that way. "I didn't mean to," she said quietly. "I just wanted to learn." "I know," Sei said, "and I believe you. But remember that every day people here wake up to survive. They don't know they're part of your experiment. When you take off this uniform, and reveal who you are. Their reactions will be real. Some will feel used, some will feel proud. Be ready. Naya felt a chill. She thought about Gozi and Bimpei. They had welcomed her as one of them. They had protected her when customers insulted her. She had become part of their daily life. She had hidden her identity from them. She suddenly felt a weight of guilt. "You're right," she whispered. "I didn't think about that. I thought I was only testing men. I didn't realize I was playing with everyone's trust." Sei nodded. "You're not a bad person," he said. "You just didn't see all angles. Seeing them now will help you do the right thing later." Naya nodded, tears forming in her eyes. "Thank you," she said, "for not exposing me." Sei smiled. "I fight with tomatoes, not people," he said. "But please, be careful where you drop things." He tapped the ID card gently. "Some names are heavier than they look." Naya laughed through her tears. "I will," she said. Sei turned to leave. "Wait," Naya said, stopping him. "Why didn't you confront me immediately? You could have asked for money or favors." Sei looked offended. "Money? Favor? For what?" he said. "Do I look like a beggar? I didn't tell anyone because I respect you. Everyone deserves privacy. I'm not here to gain from your secret. I'm here to deliver tomatoes and find peace. If you want to tell me about your life, tell me when you want to, not because you're cornered." Naya smiled, relief flooding her. "You're a good person," she said. Sei shrugged. "I try to be," he said, "but I'm not perfect." He left, and Naya stood there, holding her ID card close to her chest. She felt exposed and seen. She felt grateful for Sei's kindness and blunt honesty. She also felt the weight of her deception heavier than before. She put the card back in her apron pocket, careful not to drop it again. She returned to the dining area, but her mind wandered. She thought about the day of the reveal. She imagined the look on Bimpei's face when she learned the truth. She imagined Gozi's reaction. She imagined Femi's reaction. Would he feel betrayed? Would Sei? The thought made her stomach knot. That evening, Naya left the restaurant with her mother's car waiting to take her home. She sat in the back seat and stared at the city lights passing by. She felt tired, physically and emotionally. Her mind replayed the day's events. The fire, Sei's bravery, Femi's fear, the ID card, the secret. At home, she found her mother in the living room, watching the news. Mama Uju looked up. "You smell like smoke," she said, her nose wrinkling. "There was a small fire," Naya explained. Sei put it out. "Everyone is fine." "Thank God," Mama Uju said. She patted the space beside her on the couch. "Come sit. You look like you have something on your mind." Naya sat down. She told her mother about the fire, about Femi's hesitation, Sei's quick action, and about the ID card. "He knows," Naya said softly. "Sei knows who I am." Mama Uju's eyes widened slightly. "What did he say?" she asked. "He said he won't tell anyone," Naya replied. "He told me to be careful. He said I was using people's lives as a test. He said I need to be ready for the consequences." Uju nodded thoughtfully. "He's right," she said. "People are not lab rats. They have feelings. They will feel hurt when they learn you lied, even if you had good intentions." "I didn't think about that," Naya admitted. "We often don't," Mama Uju said. "We focus on our own pain. We forget that our actions can cause pain to others. It's good you see this now. It will help you prepare. It will also help you decide how and when to tell your truth." "I feel guilty," Naya whispered. "I feel like I'm tricking everyone." "You are not tricking everyone," Mama Uju said gently. "You are protecting your heart. But you must also protect theirs. Be honest with yourself about why you're doing this. Don't become the person you are trying to avoid. Don't hurt others because you don't want to be hurt." Naya nodded. "I understand," she said. "I will think about how to reveal the truth without causing too much pain. Maybe after I know who I can trust, I'll tell them." Mama Uju smiled. "That's wise," she said. "And remember, you don't have to decide everything now. You can take it step by step. Listen to your heart, and listen to the people who care about you." Naya rested her head on her mother's shoulder. "Thank you," she said softly. "I needed to hear that." Her mother squeezed her hand. "Get some rest," she said. "Tomorrow is another day." Naya went to her room and lay down on her bed. She closed her eyes, but sleep did not come easily. Her mind raced with images. She saw the flames in the kitchen, Sei throwing the blanket, Femi standing still. She saw Sei holding the ID card. She saw his eyes, full of understanding, and his voice telling her to be careful where she dropped names. She saw Femi's letter, the words of apology and hope. She felt pulled in two directions again. She didn't know which path to take. All she knew was that the road ahead would be filled with choices she had never imagined. The next few days passed quickly at Uju's table. The kitchen returned to its usual rhythm after the fire. The smell of smoke faded, replaced by the familiar aromas of spices and soup. Naya went back to wiping tables, carrying trays, and listening to conversations. But beneath the daily noise, she carried the weight of her secret and the memory of Sei's words. Sei continued to deliver goods every morning. His jokes remained as silly as ever. "Why do cucumbers always win races?" "Because they have cool numbers," he said one day, handing her a crate. Naya laughed and rolled her eyes. She noticed he never treated her differently after learning the truth. He didn't suddenly become formal or distant. He didn't ask for favors or act impressed. He just remained Sei, the man who fought tomatoes and delivered kindness. Femi continued to come to the restaurant, sometimes with his colleagues, but mostly alone. He made an effort to speak up when he saw rudeness. He checked in on staff members. He apologized when he stumbled. Naya watched him quietly. She saw him try, and she respected his attempts, but she didn't let her guard down completely. One afternoon during a slow hour, Femi approached the counter. He smiled nervously. "Hey," he said. "Hi," Naya replied. "There's a charity event at my church this Saturday," Femi said, shifting his weight. "We're donating food and school supplies to children in the neighborhood. Would you like to come? You can help if you want. It's nothing fancy, but I thought you might enjoy it." Naya hesitated. Her first instinct was to say no. She didn't want to blur lines. But then she thought about seeing Femi outside the restaurant, away from his friends, away from the uniform she hid behind. She wanted to see how he acted in other environments. "Maybe," she said slowly. "What time? Around 10 in the morning, Femi said. "It's near the church on Adeniran Street." Naya nodded. "Okay," she said. "I'll come." "Great," Femi said, relief evident in his smile. "I'll be there." He walked away, looking back at her once. Naya took a deep breath. She had never attended a charity event with a man she might like. It felt both exciting and scary. The next day, Sei arrived with his usual deliveries. He noticed the pensive look on Naya's face. "What's wrong?" he asked, leaning against the door frame. "I agreed to go to a charity event with Femi," Naya said. "At his church." Sei raised his eyebrows. "Really? That sounds nice. Why do you look worried?" "I don't know," Naya admitted. "I want to see how he acts. But I'm afraid I'll see something I don't like. Or maybe something I like too much." Sei chuckled. "You're scared of both success and failure," he said. "Exactly," Naya said, sighing. Sei gave her a reassuring look. "Go," he said. "Observe. You don't have to decide anything. Just watch. You'll learn something about him and about yourself." Naya nodded. "Thanks," she said. "Will you be delivering on Saturday?" "No," Sei said. "I have a family gathering. My cousin is getting married." "Oh," Naya said. "I hope it's fun." "Fun and food," Sei said, smiling. "They always go together." That Saturday, Naya put on a plain dress and comfortable shoes. She tied her hair back and left her father's car at home. She took a taxi to Adeniran Street and looked for the church. She found a small crowd gathered outside, tables set up with food items and boxes of notebooks and pencils. Children ran around laughing. Volunteers wore simple shirts with a church name printed on them. Femi spotted her and waved, surprised and happy. "You came," he said, jogging over. He wore jeans and a plain t-shirt. He looked different without his usual office clothes. He handed her a small name tag with volunteer printed on it. "Here," he said. "You can help distribute notebooks. I'll be at the food table." Naya pinned the tag to her shirt. She smiled and nodded. "Okay," she said. They went to their stations. Naya stood behind a table with stacks of notebooks and pencils. Children lined up. excited. She handed each child a notebook and a pencil. "What's your name?" she asked each one. "How old are you?" She smiled at their answers. She saw gratitude in their parents' eyes. It warmed her heart. Femi stood behind another table, scooping rice and stew onto plates. He worked quickly and smiled at everyone. He spoke kindly. When someone asked for extra meat, he gave it to them with a laugh. He didn't look embarrassed to be there. He didn't hide behind jokes or silence. He looked like he belonged. After an hour, Naya took a short break. She walked around the event. She saw Femi talking to another volunteer, a woman with a bright scarf tied around her head. They laughed together. She felt a pang of jealousy and quickly dismissed it. Tosin appeared near the food table. Naya's heart dropped. She hadn't expected to see him there. He wore a t-shirt and jeans but still walked with his usual swagger. He looked around, eyes scanning. He spotted Femi and walked over. "Femi," Tosin called loudly. "Look at you, serving food. Is this your new job now?" He laughed. Femi stiffened. He took a deep breath. "Tosin," he said calmly. "It's a charity event. We're helping. Please don't make jokes here." Tosin smirked. "Big banker is now big pastor," he teased. "Next, you'll be asking for offering." Some people nearby laughed. Others looked uncomfortable. Femi's face tightened. Naya watched from a distance, her heart pounding. Would he stand up now after his promise? "Tosin," Femi said, his voice firmer. "If you can't help, please leave. This is not the place for jokes. People are hungry. Respect them." Tosin raised his eyebrows. He looked around, aware that people were watching. "Wow," he said, mocking. "Listen to Femi. Very serious. You're scaring me." "I'm not trying to scare you," Femi said, still calm. "I'm asking you to stop. If you can't, go home." Tosin laughed again, but it sounded forced. Okay, he said, raising his hands. "Don't worry, I'll go. I see you have a new family here. Enjoy." He walked away, shaking his head. Some volunteers murmured approval. Others whispered. Naya felt a surge of pride. Femi had stood up. He had told Tosin to leave. He had done it calmly but firmly. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud, but it was brave. Naya finished her break and returned to her table. The event lasted another hour. When it ended, the volunteers started packing up. Femi walked over to Naya. "Thank you for coming," he said, his eyes shining. "And for watching me stand up to Tosin," he added with a shy smile. "You did well," Naya said. "I'm proud of you." Femi's smile widened. "I didn't even think this time," he said. "I just said it. It felt good." Naya nodded. "That's what change feels like," she said. They walked together toward the church gate. As they reached the gate, Sei suddenly appeared from the other direction. He didn't wear a fancy outfit. He wore his delivery clothes, as if he had come straight from work. "Sei," Naya said, surprised. "I thought you were at a wedding." "I was," Sei said, grinning. "But I left early. I wanted to see the event. I had a feeling someone might need me." Naya laughed. "Always working," she said. Femi looked at Sei with curiosity. "You know each other?" he asked. "Of course," Sei said, shaking Femi's hand. "I'm the man who brings your vegetables. And sometimes wisdom," he added jokingly. Femi chuckled. "Nice to meet you outside the restaurant," he said. Sei nodded. "Likewise," he said. "I saw you stand up to your friend. Well done. That wasn't easy." Femi smiled. "It felt easier than I thought," he said. "Maybe I'm learning." "You're learning to use your voice," Sei said. "Keep practicing." They talked for a few minutes, the three of them together. It felt natural, like three friends chatting. Naya glanced between the two men. She saw how different they were. Femi was cautious but growing. Sei was steady and grounded. She wondered how she could choose between them if she had to. She also wondered if she needed to choose at all right now. As they prepared to say goodbye, Sei pulled Naya aside. He handed her something small. It was her staff ID card. "I told you to be careful," he whispered with a smile. "You dropped this again." Naya's eyes widened. She laughed. "I can't believe it," she said. "I'm hopeless." "Maybe," Sei said. "Or maybe you want people to find out unconsciously." His eyes twinkled. "No," Naya said quickly. "I just keep forgetting it's there." "Well, tie it to your apron," Sei said. "Or give it to me. I'll keep it safe." You're not keeping my identity, Naya said, laughing. She took the card and slipped it into her bag. Sei leaned closer. By the way, he said softly, don't tell anyone yet. Let them see your heart before they see your name. But remember what we talked about. You're not just testing men. You're building relationships. Be ready to explain when the time comes. I will, Naya said. Thank you. You're welcome, Sei said. He gave her a small wave and left. Naya turned back to Femi. I should go, she said. My mother will wonder where I am. Let me drop you off, Femi offered. No need, Naya said quickly. I'll take a taxi. I'll see you at the restaurants. Femi nodded, though he looked disappointed. Okay, he said. Thank you again for coming. Naya smiled. You're welcome, she said. See you Monday. She walked away, her mind full of new images. Femi's firm words to Tosin, Sei's joke about her ID card, the smiles of children receiving notebooks, the warmth of community. She felt hope and fear, confusion and clarity, all tangled together. On Monday, Naya returned to the restaurant. She tied her apron and prepared for the day. As she wiped a table, she overheard two staff members whispering behind her. Did you hear? One said. I think Naya might be related to the owner. Really, the other whispered. No way. She's always working like us. I saw her talking to Mama Uju like family, the first said. Maybe she's a niece or something. Naya's heart skipped. The gossip had begun. She glanced around. Bimpei was nearby, hearing the whispers. Bimpei looked thoughtful. She didn't say anything. As Naya passed Bimpei, she smiled nervously. Bimp raised an eyebrow. You have something you want to tell me? She asked quietly. Naya froze. She opened her mouth, but no words came. Bimpei's eyes softened. It's okay, she whispered. Whenever you're ready. Naya nodded, relief mixing with fear. During lunch, a man came into the restaurant and started shouting about a wrong order. He slammed his fist on the table. Do you think I'm stupid? He shouted at the waitress. This is not what I ordered. You're useless. Naya approached the table. Sir, please calm down, she said. We can fix this. What did you order? I ordered fish, not meat, the man said, waving his plate. Are you deaf? I'm sorry, Naya said calmly. We'll get you the right dish. It might take a few minutes, but we'll hurry. Minutes? I don't have minutes, the man yelled. I'm late already. This place is rubbish. The man stood up, towering over her. His face was red. Naya felt a flicker of fear but didn't move. She continued to speak gently. Sir, please. I'll go to the kitchen now. We'll make it right. Behind the man, Sei appeared with a crate on his shoulder. He set it down and walked over. Good afternoon, sir, he said, his tone pleasant. Please, calm down. Shouting won't make the fish cook faster. Let them fix your order. No need to scare people. The man turned to Sei. Who are you? He snapped. I'm someone who likes to eat fish too, Sei said, smiling. And I don't like to eat it raw. If you cook it with anger, it will taste bitter. If you let them cook it with calm, it will taste sweet. The man stared at Sei, his anger meeting calm. He finally let out a sigh. Fine, he said, sitting back down. But hurry. We will, Naya said, relief flooding her. She hurried to the kitchen to fix the order. When she returned with the correct dish, the man didn't shout again. He muttered a quiet thank you. Naya glanced at Sei as she passed. He didn't look at her. He just lifted his crate and went back to his deliveries. His intervention had been small but powerful. It had saved the moment. That evening, as Naya left the restaurant, Femi stood outside with a bouquet of flowers. Her heart sank. She didn't want to accept gifts. She didn't want to complicate things. She walked past him. Naya, Femi called. Wait. She stopped reluctantly. Yes, she asked. I brought you these, Femi said, holding out the bouquet. As a thank you for coming to the charity event, and for believing in me. Naya looked at the flowers. They were beautiful, vibrant lilies and roses. She shook her head. I can't accept them, she said. Why not? Femi asked. Hurt because I can't be swayed by flowers, Naya said gently. I appreciate the thought. But your actions mean more to me. Save your money. Use it to help more children or buy your mother something. Femi looked disappointed but nodded slowly. Okay, he said. I'll respect that. Thank you, Naya said. She turned to leave. I'll see you tomorrow, Femi called softly. Naya waved without turning back. She felt exhausted. Her emotions swung like a pendulum between Femi and Sei, between truth and lies, between duty and desire. She needed time to think. Days turned into a blur of plates and chatter. The restaurant stayed busy. Naya moved like a machine, carrying trays, wiping tables, and taking orders. But her mind churned. She thought about her secret and the growing whispers. She thought about Femi's efforts and Sei's advice. She thought about Bimpei's knowing eyes and Mama Uju's warnings. She felt pulled in many directions. One morning, as Naya walked into the kitchen, she overheard two staff members again. "I'm telling you," one whispered, "Naya is not just anybody. Why else does Mama Uju treat her with so much respect?" "She works hard," the other replied. "Maybe Mama just appreciates that." "It's more than that," the first insisted. "I think she might be her daughter." Naya's heart beat faster. She clutched the tray tighter. She knew gossip spread like fire. She had to talk to Sei. He had advised her to be honest. Maybe it was time. She found Sei near the back door, stacking empty crates. "Can we talk?" she asked quietly. Sei glanced at her and nodded. "Sure," he said, wiping his hands on his trousers. They stepped outside, behind the kitchen, where the noise was lower. "I think Bimpei knows," Naya said. "And some staff are suspecting," I heard whispers. "I need to tell them, but I'm scared." Sei leaned against the wall. "What are you scared of?" he asked. "I'm scared they'll think I lied to them," Naya said. "I'm scared they'll feel used. I'm scared they'll hate me. I've become friends with Ngozi and the others. I don't want to lose them. They might be hurt," Sei said. "But if you tell them yourself, they'll understand better. They won't feel like you tricked them behind their backs. It's better coming from you than from gossip." "I know," Naya said. "I want to tell them, but I'm not sure when." Sei shrugged. "There's no perfect time," he said. "But if the whispers are growing, it's better to speak before the whispers become shouts." Naya nodded, taking a deep breath. "I'll tell them soon," she said. "Maybe after lunch rush, when it's quiet." "That's wise," Sei said. He smiled. "I'll be around if you need me, even if tomatoes call me." Naya laughed despite her nerves. "Thank you," she said. She went back inside, her heart heavy. Throughout the lunch rush, she carried her secret like a weight on her chest. She served customers, but her mind kept returning to the conversation she would soon have to have. The lunch rush ended around 3. The restaurant quieted. Only a few tables remained occupied. Naya wiped down the counter and glanced at Bimpei, who was stacking plates. "Can we talk?" Naya asked Bimpei quietly. Bimpei looked at her and nodded. "Of course," she said, sensing the seriousness in Naya's voice. She led Naya to a small staff room in the back, away from customers. Ngozi and 2 other staff members were there, resting on chairs. Sei stepped in, leaning against the doorframe but staying silent. Naya stood in front of them. Her hands shook. She took a deep breath. "I need to tell you something," she said. "It's not easy, but I want to be honest." Bimp crossed her arms and watched. Ngozi leaned forward. The other 2 waited. "I'm not just the new waitress," Naya said, her voice trembling. I'm Mama Uju's daughter." A heavy silence fell over the room. Eyes widened. Mouths fell open. Bimp's eyebrows shot up. Ngozi gasped softly. One of the other staff members muttered. "Ah, it's true," Naya continued quickly. "My last name is Okafor. I grew up in this house. I went to school abroad. I wanted to see how people would treat me if they didn't know I was rich. I wanted to find someone who loved me for me. But I also wanted to understand what it's like to work here. I know it may feel like I lied to you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you." Bimpei stared at her, processing. Ngozi's mouth hung open. The other 2 whispered to each other. "So you're rich," Ngozi said finally. "And you've been serving us food like us." "Yes," Naya said quietly. "I wanted to see people's hearts." Bimpei shook her head slowly. "My dear," she said, "we are not part of your experiment. We are human beings." Naya felt tears well up. "I know," she said. "I realize that now. I didn't think about how my secret would affect you. I was focused on my own fear of being used. I'm sorry." "Why didn't you tell us sooner?" Ngozi asked. "We trusted you." We shared secrets with you. I was scared, Naya admitted. I didn't want you to treat me differently. I didn't want you to think I was checking up on you. I didn't want to be treated like a rich girl. So you let us believe you were like us, Bimpy said softly. And we protected you. We covered for you when customers insulted you. We gave you tips on how to carry plates. We laughed with you. And all the while, you were testing people. Naya looked down. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean to make you feel used. Ngozi wiped a tear from her eye. I never imagined I would be friends with a billionaire's daughter, she said, laughing through her tears. Now I feel like a character in a movie. The room laughed gently. The tension eased a little. So what now? One of the other staff members asked. Will you stop working here? Naya hesitated. I don't want to, she said. I love being here. I want to continue if you'll allow me. But I understand if you can't trust me. Bimp sighed. She walked over to Naya and placed a hand on her shoulder. Look at me, she said. We feel hurt because you kept a secret, but we also see how you work. You didn't sit in the office. You carried plates. You cleaned tables. You endured insults. You learned from us. That means something. We may feel used, but we also know you didn't do this to mock us. You wanted to learn and protect yourself. I don't like being part of an experiment, but I see your heart. I forgive you. But please, no more secrets. Ngozi nodded. Yes, she said. We're still friends. But promise us you'll be honest now. No more tests. I promise, Naya said, tears streaming down her face. No more secrets. The other two staff members nodded. It's okay, one said. You're still our girl. Naya smiled through her tears. Relief washed over her. Sei, still leaning against the door, nodded approvingly. Good, he said softly. This will make you closer. Bimpei cleared her throat. All right, she said. Now, get back to work. We have tables to clean. The world doesn't stop because of secrets. The room laughed. The tension broke fully. Naya wiped her tears and hugged Ngozi and the others. She felt lighter. The weight of the secret was gone. As she returned to the dining area, Femi walked in, holding a bouquet of lilies and roses. Naya's shoulders tensed. This was not what she needed right now. She walked toward him. Naya, Femi said, smiling. I got these for you. I know you said you didn't want flowers, but these are different. I spoke to my mother. She said I should bring lilies because they mean purity and roses because they mean love. I want you to have them. Naya shook her head gently. Femi, no, she said. I've told you, I can't accept flowers. Femi's face fell. Why? He asked. I thought we were getting closer. We are talking more, Naya said. But gifts aren't the way to my heart. Actions are. You stood up to Tassin. That was something. But bringing flowers, it feels like you're trying to buy my forgiveness. I'm not, Femi said quickly. I just wanted to show you that I care. I know you care, Naya said softly. But you don't need to prove it with things. Prove it with consistency. Femi looked hurt but nodded slowly. Okay, he said. I'll respect that. I'll give the flowers to my mother then. She'll love them, Naya said, smiling. Femi turned to leave, still holding the bouquet. As he walked out, Sei walked in with his own delivery. He nodded at Femi, who nodded back politely. Sei looked at Naya. Flowers again? He asked jokingly. Yes, Naya said, rolling her eyes. Maybe he's starting a garden, Sei said, laughing. At least his mother will be happy. Naya laughed. You're terrible, she said. I try, Sei replied with a grin. He leaned in and whispered, I saw you tell them. How do you feel? Lighter, Naya whispered back. Scared but free. Good, Sei said. Freedom is heavy and light at the same time. Later that day, when the rush had slowed, Femi came back. He didn't have flowers this time. He had a letter in his hand. He approached Naya nervously. Hi, he said. I wanted to give you this, but maybe I shouldn't. I'm not sure. I think I need to speak. Naya raised an eyebrow. What is it? She asked. Femi took a deep breath. I want to confess something, he said quietly. I have been talking to my friends about you. I told them I was seeing someone. But I never used your name. I called you the Waitress. They teased me. They said I was lowering myself. I felt embarrassed. That's why I didn't stand up for you at first. I was afraid they'd mock me. But after what you said and after the charity event, I see how silly that is. I'm telling you because I don't want any secrets between us. I want to be honest. And if you don't want to talk to me anymore, I'll understand. Naya looked at him carefully. She appreciated his honesty. It wasn't easy to admit embarrassment. Thank you for telling me, she said. I already knew you were embarrassed. You used me as an example to your friends. But you also stopped. You stood up to Tosin. You're trying, I see that. I'm not going to cut you off for being human, but I also need time. And I need to see if you can keep doing what you say you'll do. Femi nodded. That's fair, he said. I'll keep trying. Thank you for giving me a chance. As Femi left, Bimpy approached Naya. I saw you talking to Femi, she said. What did he want? He wanted to be honest, Naya said. He told me he's been ashamed of me before but is trying to change. Shame is a heavy chain, Bimp said. It takes time to break. Let's see if he breaks it or drags it. Naya nodded. I will, she said. That evening, as Naya cleaned up, Say returned for a final delivery. He looked tired. Are you all right? Naya asked. I'm fine, Say said. Just sleepy. Weddings drain me. People think I like to dance because I deliver food, but I don't. Naya laughed. You don't like dancing? I like dancing with tomatoes, Say said, winking. They're lighter on their feet than humans. Naya shook her head. You're crazy, she said, but she smiled. Say looked at her, his expression softening. Be careful, he said. You're juggling people's hearts, Femi's, yours, and maybe mine. Naya's eyes widened. Yours? She repeated. C shrugged. I didn't want to say it, he said. But I think you know. I'm not a poet, but I know what my heart feels. If you choose Femi, I'll understand. But don't think I don't feel, I do. And I'm saying it now, before the story ends. Naya's mouth opened, but no words came. She stared at him. She stammered. You don't have to say anything, Say said quickly, holding up his hands. I know this is not the time for declarations. I just wanted to put my cards on the table. I'm not good at hiding feelings. Tomatoes taught me honesty. Naya laughed, tears in her eyes. Thank you for telling me, she said softly. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, Say said again. Just know it's there. Now go home. Tomorrow is another day. Naya nodded. Good night, Sei, she said. Good night, Naya, he replied. That night Naya lay in bed, her mind spinning. She thought about Sei's confession. She thought about Femi's honesty. She thought about her own heart. She had never imagined she would find herself in a position where two good men liked her and she had to choose. She also thought about the pain she might cause, no matter what she decided. She stared at the ceiling. Tears slipped down her cheeks. She whispered into the darkness. What do I do? The room was silent. Her heart beat a soft answer. Wait, watch, listen, the story isn't over. She wiped her tears and closed her eyes, hoping for sleep. The announcement of a family dinner came on a Friday afternoon. Naya was wiping a table when her mother stepped into the dining area. Mama Uju wore a colorful blouse and gold earrings. She looked around until she saw Naya and motioned for her to come. Yes, Mama, Naya said, hurrying over. Your father wants a family dinner on Sunday evening, Mama Uju said. He invited Femi's family. They want to discuss serious matters. Naya's stomach twisted. She knew what that meant, marriage. Her father had been trying to arrange something behind her back. She thought she had more time. She thought she could delay. But it seemed her father had other plans. Okay, Naya said, forcing a smile. What should I wear? Something simple but elegant, Mama Uju said. We are not announcing anything. It's just dinner. But your father wants to make a good impression. You don't have to say yes or no. It's just a conversation. Naya nodded. Understand, she said. Inside, her heart pounded. She wasn't ready for this conversation. She didn't want to hurt Femi's family, but she also didn't want to marry out of pressure. She needed to think. She found Sei near the back door. He was stacking empty crates. He looked up when he saw her. Are you okay? Sei asked, seeing her pale face. My father invited Femi's family for dinner, Naya said. They want to talk about marriage. Sei's eyes widened. Already, he said. Do they know you're still deciding? I don't think they care, Naya said. My father sees a good family and wants to secure it. He doesn't know I'm torn between Femi and... She trailed off. Sei smiled sadly. And me, he finished. Naya looked down. Yes, she whispered. Sei leaned against the wall. What will you do, he asked. I don't know, Naya said. I need to talk to Femi before the dinner. I need to tell him about me, about you, about everything. I need to tell my father too. I can't sit quietly while they talk about me like I'm not in the room. Sei nodded. That's brave, he said. Hard but necessary. If you sit there silently, they will think you agree. I'll talk to Femi tomorrow, Naya said. I'll tell him about me being the owner's daughter, about the test, about my feelings, about how I'm torn. I owe him that honesty. Then I'll talk to my father. I don't know what will happen at the dinner, but I can't pretend. I'm here if you need me, Sei said. Even if you choose Femi, I'm still your friend. My heart might be broken, but I'll survive. I'm tough, remember. I fight tomatoes. Naya smiled weakly. Thank you, she said. Saturday arrived. Naya waited for Femi outside his bank during his lunch break. When he walked out, he looked surprised to see her. Naya, he said. What are you doing here? I need to talk to you, Naya said. Privately. It's important. Femi nodded, concern crossing his face. Let's go to the small park across the street, he suggested. They walked to a quiet corner of the park, away from people. Naya felt her heart hammer. She took a deep breath. Before we talk, she began, I need to confess something. I've been lying to you. Femi's eyes widened. He froze. What do you mean? He asked. I'm not just a waitress, Naya said. I'm Mama Uju's daughter. My full name is Naya Okafor. I'm the owner's child. I have a degree from abroad. I'm not struggling like the waitresses. I chose to work at the restaurant to see how people treat me when they think I'm poor. I wanted to find someone who loves me for me, not my father's money. I'm sorry for lying. Femi's mouth dropped open. He stared at her. You're the owner's daughter? He repeated slowly. And you didn't tell me? I didn't tell anyone, Naya said quickly. Only Sei knows. He found out by accident. I was afraid. I've been tricked before. Men told me they loved me and then asked for money. I didn't want that again. So I hid. I'm sorry. Femi ran a hand through his hair. He sat down on a bench, shaking his head. This is a lot, he said. So everything was a test? No, Naya said. Not everything. I wanted to learn. I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about myself. I didn't do it to hurt anyone. I did it to protect my heart. But I see now that I also hurt people by hiding. I'm sorry. Femi looked up at her, his eyes full of conflict. So when I called you just the waitress, you were really a billionaire's daughter, he said, bitter amusement in his voice. Yes, Naya said softly. And it hurt. Not because I'm rich, but because you didn't respect the job. You apologized. You tried to change. I respected that. But this is the truth now. Femi laughed nervously. And Sei knows, he said. Does he know about us? He knows we talk, Naya said. But he also knows I have feelings for him. He told me he cares about me. He put his cards on the table. I'm telling you now so you know the full picture. I care about you, Femi. I do. But I also care about Sei. And I have to decide. I don't want to marry someone because my father wants it. I want to choose with my heart. Femi leaned back, his face pale. He took a deep breath. I don't know what to say, he confessed. You're rich. I'm not. My family isn't poor, but we're not on your level. I feel like I'm in a movie. It's not about money, Naya said. It's about character. It's about respect. It's about love. You showed me kindness in private. You learned to speak up in public. You wrote letters. You tried. I see that. I appreciate it. But I also can't ignore my feelings for Sei. He came into my life and made me laugh. At moments I didn't think I could laugh. He saw through my secret and still respected me. He stood up when others didn't. He is steady. You're both good men, but different. Femi sat silently. He looked at the ground. Do you love him? He asked softly. I don't know yet, Naya said. I feel something strong. I feel something strong for you too. I'm confused. That's why I need to be honest. My father invited your family for dinner tomorrow. He wants to discuss marriage. I can't let him talk without telling you all this. I can't let my family make decisions for me. I have to speak. Femi nodded slowly. I respect your honesty, he said quietly. I don't like being part of a competition. I didn't know there was one, but I guess love often feels like a race. I'm not sure I want to keep running if I'm not the only one. I'm not asking you to compete, Naya said. I'm asking you to understand that my heart is torn. If you can't handle that, I respect it. If you want to step back, I won't be angry. I won't force you into something that might hurt you. Femi closed his eyes. He inhaled deeply. He exhaled slowly. I need time, he said. I need to think. I feel hurt. But I also feel relieved that you're honest. I've been judged for being a banker's son. People think I'm after money. I didn't want that for us. Now I know the truth. Let me think. I'll come to the dinner. I want to talk to your father. I want to be respectful. But I need to decide if I can handle this love triangle. Naya nodded. Of course, she said. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry again for lying. I hope you know my feelings are real, even if my job isn't. Femi stood up. I do believe your feelings, he said. I believe you're genuine. That's why this hurts. Because genuine hearts sometimes get tangled. He managed a smile. I'll see you tomorrow. Naya watched him walk away. Her chest felt heavy. She had spoken her truth, but it didn't feel freeing. It felt like she had opened a door and released a storm. That evening, Naya returned home and found her father in his study. He sat behind a large desk, reading a newspaper. His spectacles perched on his nose. His face looked stern. Daddy, Naya said, standing in the doorway. Can I talk to you? Her father looked up. Yes, Naya, he said. Come in. She sat in the chair opposite him. I know you invited Femi's family for dinner tomorrow, she said. You want to discuss marriage? Yes, her father said, nodding. Femi's family is respectable. He's hard-working. It would be a good match. Naya took a deep breath. I can't marry Femi, she said. Her father's eyebrows shot up. Why not? He asked, his voice calm but firm. I have feelings for someone else too, Naya said. A man named Sei. He delivers goods to the restaurant. He knows I'm rich. He likes me anyway. I like him too. I'm torn. I can't marry out of duty. I need to choose freely. I can't go into a dinner where you decide my future without my voice. Her father's face hardened. Sei? He repeated, sounding disapproving. A delivery boy? He is more than that, Naya said quickly. He is kind. He stood up for people. He saved our kitchen from a fire. He is brave. He is steady. He is honest. He is wise. He's not a boy. He's a man who helps everyone. He's a man without connections, her father said, frowning. He can't help my business. He can't support you in the lifestyle you're used to. You're not thinking. You're letting emotions cloud your judgment. I'm thinking, Naya said, her voice shaking. I'm thinking about my happiness. I'm thinking about my heart. I'm thinking about respect and love. I'm thinking about how I don't want to be like the women who marry for money and cry in secret. I'm thinking about how I need a partner, not a business deal. Her father leaned forward, his gaze intense. Are you choosing poverty? He asked. Naya shook her head. I'm choosing love, she said firmly. I'm choosing respect. I'm choosing a man who will stand beside me when people laugh. Femi might be that man. Sei might be that man. I don't know yet. But I know that if you push me into a marriage without my heart in it, I will resent you. I will resent the man. I will resent myself. Please, let me decide. Her father's eyes narrowed. He was silent for a moment. Mama Uju appeared in the doorway, having overheard part of the conversation. She placed a hand on her husband's shoulder. My love, Mama Uju said softly. Remember when we married? We had nothing but love. We built everything together. It's true, we want the best for Naya. But she is right. If she marries without love, she will suffer. We can't force her. The world is changing. We must change too. Naya's father sighed. He removed his spectacles and rubbed his eyes. I want what's best for you, he said, looking at Naya. Sei may be kind, but kindness doesn't pay bills. I have money, Naya said quietly. I can pay bills, I can work, I can support us if needed. I am not a child. I know life isn't easy. But I would rather struggle with someone I love than live in gold with someone who sees me as a price. Her father looked at her, emotion flickering in his eyes. He sighed again. Fine, he said. We will have dinner tomorrow. We'll meet Femi's family, but I won't force you. You don't have to agree to anything. But I want you to be respectful. We don't want to embarrass them. If you decide to choose Sei, we will talk to him. We'll see what he can offer. I still need to know he can protect and provide. I need to know he won't be intimidated by wealth. Naya nodded, relief flooding her. Thank you, Daddy, she said. I promise I'll be respectful. Good, her father said, leaning back. Now go and rest. Tomorrow will be interesting. Sunday evening arrived quickly. The dining room in the Okafor mansion glittered with crystal glasses and polished cutlery. A long table sat in the middle, set for 12. The air smelled of roasted goat and jollof rice. Naya wore a simple but elegant dress, as her mother had suggested. She tied her hair in a neat bun and wore no jewelry. Femi arrived with his parents and 2 younger sisters. His mother wore a colorful head tie and greeted everyone with warmth. His father looked proud, standing tall in a crisp suit. They presented a small gift to Mama Uju, a basket of fresh fruits and a bottle of palm wine. Welcome, Naya's father said, shaking their hands. Please sit. They all sat. Naya sat near her father with Femi beside her. His parents sat across. The conversation began politely. They talked about business, church, and community. Femi's mother complimented the food. Naya's father smiled and said it was his wife's recipe. Naya listened quietly. After the main course, Naya's father cleared his throat. We invited you here, he said, to discuss the future of our children. Naya is our only daughter. We want the best for her. Femi is a good young man. He has a good job. Our families have known each other for years. A union would be beneficial for both families. Femi's father nodded. We feel the same, he said. We are honored. Femi is lucky to have caught Naya's eye. Naya felt her mouth go dry. She looked at Femi. He looked nervous, glancing at her from the corner of his eye. She took a deep breath. This was the moment she had prepared for. She couldn't be silent. Daddy, Naya said softly but firmly. All heads turned to her. Please, may I speak? Her father's eyebrows lifted, surprised. Go ahead, he said. Naya stood up slowly. Her hands trembled. She looked at Femi's family. She looked at her father. She looked at her mother. Then she spoke. I respect all of you, she said. I am honored that you consider me for marriage. Femi, you're a wonderful person. Your family is kind. But I can't agree to marry tonight. I can't promise something I'm not ready for. I have feelings for someone else too. I need time to decide. I need to follow my heart. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. I hope you understand. I'm sorry if this is a surprise. But I can't pretend. The room fell silent. Femi's mother exchanged a look with her husband. Femi looked like someone had punched him in the stomach. His father frowned. Naya's father closed his eyes for a moment. Mama Uju held her breath. Femi's father cleared his throat. This is unexpected, he said, trying to remain calm. We thought this dinner was about an agreement. I'm sorry for misunderstanding, Naya's father said quickly. We wanted to talk, not to conclude. My daughter has spoken. We must respect her wishes. Femi's father nodded stiffly. We appreciate your honesty, he said. Femi's mother leaned forward. My dear, she said gently, addressing Naya, I understand you want to follow your heart, but marriage is also about partnership and support. It's not just feelings. I know, Naya said softly. That's why I'm being honest. I don't want to hurt Femi. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just need time. I need to figure out what's right. Femi's mother nodded slowly. I admire your honesty, she said. Thank you. Femi spoke at last. His voice was soft. I respect your decision, he said, looking at Naya. It hurts, but I respect it. I want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. Naya felt tears in her eyes. Thank you, she said. The dinner ended quietly. There were no angry words, no dramatic exits. It was awkward but polite. Naya's father apologized for the confusion. Femi's family left with polite smiles, though disappointment lingered in their eyes. As they left, Femi's mother hugged Naya. Follow your heart, but don't forget your head, she whispered. And thank you for telling us the truth. Femi hugged Naya too, briefly. Be happy, he whispered. I'll be okay. Naya hugged him back. "Thank you," she whispered, "and thank you for trying." As the door closed behind them, Naya's father let out a long sigh. He looked at her, his eyes soft. "That was brave," he said. "I could tell you were shaking." "I was terrified," Naya admitted. "I'm proud of you," her father said, surprising her. "I don't agree with you choosing between a banker and a delivery man, but I'm proud you spoke your mind. We'll talk to Sei soon. I need to know the man who has captured my daughter's heart." Naya smiled faintly. "Thank you, Daddy," she said. That night, as Naya walked outside to get some air, she saw a familiar van parked near the gate. Sei stood beside it, leaning against the hood. He looked up when he saw her. "What are you doing here?" Naya asked, surprised. "I came to drop off extra supplies for tomorrow," Sei said casually. "And I heard there might be a dinner. I wanted to see if you were okay." Naya laughed softly. "You're always nearby," she said, "even when you're not supposed to be." "Tomatoes told me," Sei said, smirking. Naya walked closer. "I told them," she whispered, "at dinner. I told them I'm not ready. I told them about you. They're going to want to meet you soon." Sei looked surprised. Then he smiled. "I'm not afraid," he said. "Let them ask me questions. I'll answer with tomatoes and truth." Naya laughed through her tears. "You're ridiculous," she said. "But you like it," Sei replied, grinning. Naya nodded. "I do," she whispered. They stood outside under the night sky, the world quiet around them. They didn't need to say anything else. They just stood there, facing the unknown. Together. The days following the dinner felt both heavy and freeing. Naya no longer hid her identity from the staff, and her father no longer pushed marriage plans without her voice. But the truth brought new challenges. Gossip spread beyond the staff. Customers whispered when they recognized her. Some tried to befriend her for connections. Others looked at her with envy. The atmosphere changed. Naya returned to the restaurant the next morning. She tied her apron like always, but this time she didn't pretend. She greeted Bimpy with a hug. She smiled at Ngozi. They treated her the same, with respect and jokes. That eased her heart. During lunch, a man approached the counter, his eyes wide. "Are you really the owner's daughter?" he whispered. "Yes," Naya said calmly. "And you're working here?" he asked incredulously. "Yes," she repeated, smiling. "Wow," he said. "God will bless you. You're humble." "Thank you," Naya said, feeling warmth spread. News traveled fast. Some customers praised her. Some shook their heads, thinking she was strange. Naya didn't mind. She was done with hiding. She felt free. That afternoon, Femi walked into the restaurant. He wore a sad smile. He approached her gently. "Hi," he said. "Hi. I won't come here as much," Femi said. "I need space to heal. But I wanted to see you one more time and say thank you." "Thank you for everything," Naya said softly. "For trying, for being honest, for understanding." "You're welcome," Femi said. "And thank you for teaching me to be brave. I wish you happiness, truly." "I wish you the same," Naya said. They hugged once quickly, then Femi left. Naya watched him go, feeling both sadness and relief. She would always remember him fondly. A week later, Naya's father invited Sei to the house. Naya was nervous. She cleaned the living room twice. She arranged the pillows, then rearranged them. She paced. Mama Uju watched at her with amusement. "Relax," Mama Uju said. "You're more nervous than when we met Femi." "This is different," Naya said. "This is Sei. He's not used to fancy houses. I don't want him to feel out of place." At 5 o'clock, Sei's van pulled up to the gate. He stepped out wearing a clean shirt and trousers. His shoes were polished, though still simple. He carried a basket of fresh produce as a gift. "Good evening," Sei said, shaking Naya's father's hand. "Thank you for inviting me." "Welcome," Naya's father said, examining him. "You brought vegetables." "Yes," said, smiling. "They're from my farm. I wanted to bring something from my hands." "That's thoughtful," Naya's father said, nodding. "Please, come in." They sat in the living room. It felt formal. Sei looked around with curiosity. He had never been in such a large house. He seemed comfortable, though. He smiled at Naya and then focused on her father. "So you're the famous Sei," Naya's father said. "Naya has told us about you. You saved our kitchen from a fire." It was nothing, Sei said modestly. I just reacted. Anyone would have done the same. Not everyone, Naya's father said. Some freeze, some run. You acted, that's admirable. Thank you, Sei said. You know my daughter is rich, Naya's father said bluntly. She comes from a wealthy family. You are a delivery man. How do you plan to support her? How will you handle the pressure of our world? Sei took a deep breath. I understand your concerns, he said. Money is important, but love is more important. I may not have millions, but I have enough. I own a small farm. I supply many restaurants. I can expand. I'm not afraid of work. I can support her in my own way. And she is not just a woman to be taken care of. She is strong. She can work too. Together, we'll be fine. Naya's father raised an eyebrow. You think my daughter should work? He asked. I think she should do what makes her happy, Sei said. If she wants to work, let her. If she wants to rest, let her. I will never stop her from being herself, and I will never feel threatened by her wealth. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't attract me. I see her heart, not her bank account. Naya's father leaned back, studying him. You're confident, he said. That's good. Do you respect elders? Yes, Sei said. My father taught me to respect everyone, rich or poor, old or young. Respect should not depend on money. Do you drink? Naya's father asked. Occasionally, Sei said. At celebrations. Not to get drunk, I know my limits. Do you go to church? Naya's father asked. Yes, Sei replied. I'm not perfect, but I try to follow God. I also respect those who pray in different ways. Naya's father nodded slowly. He looked at Sei, then at Naya. Do you love my daughter? He asked bluntly. Sei took another deep breath. He looked at Naya. She met his eyes. His voice was steady. Yes, he said. I do. I didn't plan to. I didn't chase her for money. I didn't even know who she was at first. I just saw a kind girl working hard. I liked her. Then I found out she was rich. I thought I should walk away. But I couldn't. My heart was already attached. I love her for her laughter, her strength, her honesty. I want to build a life with her, not because of what she has, but because of who she is. Silence filled the room. Naya's father looked at Mama Uju. She gave him a small nod. He looked at Naya. Her eyes were full of tears. She nodded too. Naya's father sighed. You speak well, he said. You seem sincere. I can't deny that. My daughter's happiness matters more than business deals. If she chooses you, I must respect that. But I won't make it easy for you. You will have to prove yourself. You will have to show that you can be steady, that you can face challenges. My family is large. My business is complex. People will talk. They will call you names. They will question you. Are you ready for that? I am, Sei said. I've been called names before. I've been questioned. I can take it. And I'll shield Naya from the worst of it. Naya's father nodded. Good, he said. Welcome to our family then. He extended his hand. Sei shook it firmly. Thank you, sir, he said. I won't disappoint you. Naya wiped her tears. She threw her arms around her father. Thank you, Daddy, she whispered. Don't thank me yet, her father said gruffly, but he hugged her back. Your mother convinced me. Mama Uju smiled. I told him love is stronger than bank accounts, she said. And I reminded him that he was once a poor lawyer who chased me around the village. Naya laughed. True, she said. Love conquered you both. That evening, Sei and Naya sat on a bench in the backyard. The sun set, painting the sky orange and pink. Birds chirped, the air cooled. They held hands in comfortable silence. I never thought I'd be sitting in a millionaire's backyard with their daughter, Sei said, shaking his head. Life is funny. I never thought I'd fall for a man who fights with tomatoes, Naya said, giggling. Tomatoes are very charming, Sei said, squeezing her hand. They bring out the best in me. They both laughed. The laughter turned into comfortable quiet. Naya rested her head on Sei's shoulder. What now? She asked softly. Now we live, Sei said. We work, we love, we face challenges together. Your family will accept me slowly. My family will accept you. We will have days of peace and days of noise. We will fight over silly things like who forgot to buy pepper. We will dance at weddings. We'll cry at funerals. We'll build something together. And Femi? Naya asked quietly. He will find someone else, Sei said. He deserves love too. He learned to be brave. He will find a woman who needs his quiet strength. Maybe he'll marry a banker. Maybe a teacher. Maybe a waitress. Life is surprising. I hope he's happy, Naya said. He deserves it. He will be, Sei said confidently. He's a good man. They sat for a while longer. The stars began to appear. Fireflies danced above the grass. The world felt both big and small. Naya broke the quiet. Sei, she said, I want to do something with my life. I don't want to sit at home. I want to help people. I learned so much at the restaurant. I want to create a fund for the staff. I want to pay them better, give them health insurance, help their children go to school. I want to create a rule that customers who humiliate staff will be refused service. I want to make our restaurant a place of dignity. Sei looked at her with pride. That's a great idea, he said. You're using your experience to help others. I'll support you. I'll supply the restaurant with the best produce. I'll help you train new staff. We'll make it a place where people are happy to work and eat. Naya smiled. And I want to spend Saturdays at community kitchens, she added. I want to cook for free and teach children how to cook. I want to share the skills I learned. Let's do it, Sei said. We'll wake up early, fight with tomatoes, and then feed the world. Naya laughed. Fighting with tomatoes is your thing, she teased. It can be your thing too, Sei replied. I'll teach you. Hold the knife like this. He held an imaginary knife in his hand and showed her. Naya imitated him. He corrected her grip. They laughed. They practiced cutting air vegetables. Task passed. The stars brightened. They finally stood up and went back inside. Naya's father and mother were watching them through the window, smiling. Love filled the house. Months later, Naya and Sei got married in a small ceremony at the community kitchen where they had cooked together. They invited their families, friends, and the staff from Uju's table. Sei wore a simple suit. Naya wore a white dress that wasn't too fancy. They exchanged vows under a mango tree. I vow to love you and laugh with you, Sei said, his voice steady. I vow to fight tomatoes and troubles with you. I vow to be honest and brave, Naya said, tears in her eyes. I vow to serve, to cook, to build a family with love and respect. Everyone clapped and threw flowers. Even Tosin came, humbled by his own life lessons. He shook Sei's hand and apologized for his past words. You taught me to respect people, he said. Thank you. After the ceremony, they held a small party at Uju's table. They didn't close the restaurant to others. They opened it wider. They invited the security guards, the cleaners, the cooks, the waitresses, the drivers. They danced together, ate together, and laughed together. They played music and clapped hands. It felt like the whole community celebrated. Mama Uju hugged Ngozi and Bimpe. Thank you for taking care of my daughter, she said. Your family too, Bimp laughed. We didn't know she was your daughter, she said. We thought she was a stubborn new waitress. She was stubborn, Ngozi said grinning, but we love her. Weeks turned into months, months into a year. Naya and Sei's life blossomed. They worked side by side, at the restaurant, at the farm, at community kitchens. They built a welfare fund for staff. They enforced respect. They laughed and argued over spices. They taught children to cook. They saved for the future. They gave to those who had less. One Saturday morning, Naya stood behind a large pot at the community kitchen. She wore a plain apron and stirred a thick vegetable soup. Sei stood beside her, chopping carrots. Children ran around, laughing. Elderly people sat at tables waiting for meals. Mama Uju watched from a distance, smiling. She saw her daughter and her son-in-law, shoulder to shoulder, making a difference. Sei looked at Naya and smiled. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small black band. Here, he said, so you don't lose your ID card again. Naya laughed. She took the band and tied it around her apron. I won't lose it anymore, she said. I'm not hiding who I am. Sei kissed her forehead. Good, he said. Now stir, the soup will burn. Naya rolled her eyes. Yes, boss, she said, but she smiled. The sun shone brightly. The food smelled delicious. Laughter filled the air. The world felt like a movie, but it was their real life. Naya thought back to the first day she wore a waitress uniform. The insults, the pain. She thought about Femi's last 500 naira, about Sei's roasted corn, about the fire in the kitchen, about the charity event, about the dinner, about the ID card. She thought about the long journey that brought her to this moment. She felt grateful. She didn't regret pretending to be poor. It taught her more than she expected. It taught her about people, about kindness, about courage. It taught her about herself. It led her to Sei. It healed her heart. It changed her family. It changed her world. As she served a bowl of soup to an elderly woman who smiled up at her with gratitude, Naya felt a deep sense of peace. She had found her good husband, not by looking for wealth, but by looking for a man who respected her mother, respected waitresses, respected dignity. She had found a partner who fought tomatoes and society's expectations with equal strength. Together, they built a life rooted in love, honesty, and service. The story didn't end with a dramatic announcement or a big reveal. It ended with a simple apron, a steaming pot of soup, a laugh shared over chopped carrots, and a love that chose the harder path but found deeper joy.